do in 30 minutes. You could be on one of our 45 black and white sand beaches, or perched atop a lush mountainside admiring our stunning coastline, or slicing the Caribbean Sea on a traditionally built sloop, or adventuring off the beaten path, or hanging out with our underwater sculptures, or do nothing at all. Whatever you choose, an amazing vacation is only 30 minutes away in Grenada. Visit www.puregrenada.com.
CDB approves $1 million towards IMF Caribbean program. Details to this story and more in the National Report. With the National Report, I am Leslie Ann Johnson. The Caribbean Development Bank, CDB, says it will renew support for a program designed to help countries in the region strengthen their human and institutional capacity to design and implement policies which promote growth and reduce poverty. During a meeting in Grenada on Monday, the bank's board of directors approved $1 million towards the International Monetary Fund's Caribbean Regional Technical Assistance Center, or CARTAC, program until 2022. CARTAC is one of 10 regional technical assistance centers operated by IMF around the world. In the Caribbean region, the center has supported capacity building in public financial management, tax and customs policy, and administration. The CDB will bring together government officials, experts, and thought leaders for 3 interactive sessions during the 40th annual meeting of its Board of Governors in Grenada this week. Delegates will address 3 topics: building resilient cities, the blue economy, and regional air transport during the events, which are scheduled to take place on May 30th and 31st at the Radisson Grenada Beach Resort. After a devastating 2017 Atlantic hurricane season, the bank designed the meeting to include a forum for discussing building resilient cities. The seminar will provide a preview of the bank's urban sector policy and discuss solutions to and progress made in addressing the region's urban sector challenges. The meeting will be officially opened on Wednesday morning. No longer can staff complain of poor lighting and an uncomfortable learning environment at the St. Theresa's preschool, as their new facility was officially opened on Friday last. Following the cries for a new facility, funding was secured through the Caribbean Development Bank's Basic Needs Trust Fund project. Minister for Education, the Honorable Emmeline Pear, says government invests millions in improving infrastructure, all geared towards ensuring that the best quality education is obtained.
The investment that this government is making in education, it is tremendous. As a matter of fact, only about 2 weeks ago at a regional meeting, Grenada was flagged for one of the highest investment in education in the region. This government is making it its business to invest more and more in education. But we have to ask ourselves a tough question. Are we getting back more and more? Or are we getting back less and less? It means that if we are putting in more, the expectation is that we should be getting out more out of education.
The principal of the institution, Marlene Batiste, is elated that the environment is more conducive to learning. She charged her teachers to make the best of the new facility to produce happy, healthy, educated children.
We can assure you that we will utilize the facility to maximize our efforts as teachers, thus creating more meaningful learning for our children. We will be forever grateful to you, and your name will be etched in the archives of our history. To the government and people of Grenada, through the Minister of Education, and more directly through our parliamentary representative, Honorable Oliver Joseph, for pleading our cause to provide that extra funding that was needed for the completion of this project.
And Parliamentary Representative, the Honorable Oliver Joseph, pointed to the importance of education to reduce the cycle of poverty.
Education is what will take you out of poverty. And that is why we use education as a poverty reduction strategy, It's not just because we want to build a preschool. We believe, and I believe, And I have personal experience having lived in poverty, come from poor family, how education could take you out of poverty. So we invest heavily as a government in education.
This is the National Report. More news after the break.
This year promises to be a spectacular affair as beauties of the Caribbean compete on one stage for the title of Miss Caribbean United. Come see contestants from the islands of Trinidad, St. Lucia, St. Kitts, Nevis, St. Vincent, Anguilla, Dominica, Venezuela, Antigua, Dominican Republic, Margarita, Barbados, and host country Grenada. It's the 2018 Miss Caribbean United pageant, Saturday, June 2nd at the Spice Basket, uniting the Caribbean through beauty.
Continuing the news, 3 young men have won themselves close to 13,000 EC dollars in total after snagging the top 3 prizes in the CDB Vibesing 2018 Music Video Challenge. The winners were announced at the end of the week-long boot camp that was held at the Calinago Beach Resort. 30 young persons received certificates for successfully completing the boot camp, which was held under the theme Climate Action Today equals Food for Tomorrow. The winning team, which presented its pitch under the team name Aqua Refine, shared ideas for reviving the agriculture and fisheries industry in Grenada. The group proposed an aquarium structure which would hold both fresh and saltwater fish. It would serve a 3-part need by creating food, preserving marine life, and providing a tourism attraction. Mr. Kevin Andel, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Youth Development, Sports, Culture and the Arts, said the participants must now put into practice what they have learned to help preserve Grenada's environment.
When you leave here, you are supposed to be a change agent. You are supposed to go out there and practice what Professor Ogaro taught you about how to combine agriculture and sustainability.
17-year-old student Javon Blood won the first prize of 5,300 EC dollars with his video Climate Action. Brandon Braffett won the second prize of 4,100 EC dollars with his video Be the Change, and Lyndon Pope won the third prize of 3,300 EC dollars for his video Take Action Now.
Where I think we took the 2 points was from the facts. We gave examples of how governments and leaders can help boost the agricultural sector and everything like that. So I think that's where we took it home.
We really wanted to have an impact with what we were saying, what the public would feel from our video. We kept it organic, no need for any extra text or so. We wanted them to feel, this is Grenada, we have a beautiful island, let's maintain that.
It was a great competition, and I really think that the Ministry of Youth should continue doing the competition probably next year, some other time, but overall it was a great competition.
The Inter-American Institute for Cooperatives on Agriculture, ICA, was commended by the government on the significant contributions it has made in the development of the agriculture sector in Grenada. On Friday, ICA presented its annual accountability report for 2017 and listed priority actions for 2018. Last year, ICA worked along with farmers, schools and organizations to promote backyard gardening, strengthening extension staff through training, and boosting the beekeeping industry. Speaking on behalf of the Minister for Agriculture, Permanent Secretary Elvis Moraine said ICA's contribution over the years cannot go unnoticed.
ICA Grenada continued its technical collaboration on climate smart agriculture with the GIZ, conducting a comprehensive training workshop on the safe use of compost and organic manure to farmers. ICA is also supporting our efforts to develop the apiculture subsector, a sector that can contribute significantly to increasing foreign exchange earnings and expanding youth entrepreneurship.
ICA's national specialist Derek Charles said forging ahead, the Institute will focus on climate-smart agriculture, food and nutrition security, resilience to climate change and agri-business development.
It's resilience to climate change. And one of the instruments we thought of was the capacity building activity. Well, the people with the consultees thought of capacity building activities. And in terms of the modalities, they look at the technical and operational support to identify and implement development strategies. Just bear them in mind. The other aspect was natural resource management. In terms of the instrument, we have development of concepts, methodologies, standards, and so on. And in terms of the modalities, we look at technical and operational support.
He said consideration will be given to establishing crop insurance.
We think that's a very important area. I know the FAO is doing some work with the ministry in that area. We had some consultation with them. And they are quite supportive of the index insurance and the model that was done by Windcrop over the last number of years. But what they are saying, they need to strike a balance because neither of them probably could satisfy the needs of the farmers in Grenada. So the consultation continues as we go ahead.
And that's the National Report. I am Leslie Ann Johnson.
This year promises to be a spectacular affair as beauties of the Caribbean compete on one stage for the title of Miss Caribbean United. Come see contestants from the islands of Trinidad, St. Lucia, St. Kitts, Nevis, St. Vincent, Anguilla, Dominica, Venezuela, Antigua, Dominican Republic, Margarita, Barbados, and host country Grenada. It's the 2018 Miss Caribbean United pageant, Saturday, June 2nd at the Spice Basket, uniting the Caribbean through beauty.
Stay up to date with all that's happening with the new National Party, NNP. Send us a message via text or WhatsApp on 405-8683 with your name, email, and constituency. Stay in the know with NNP. Get updated.
There's so much going on with the NNP, and we're just getting started. From candidate launches to contests, events, and breaking news, be in the know. Get notified first about big events and announcements. Plus, we're here to listen. We want to hear from you. Leave us a comment, tell us what's working and what's not. Like what we're doing? Let us know. The NNP is working for you. Interact with us on Facebook. Come on, Grenada, get connected. Like us on Facebook/NNP Grenada and keep moving.
Yes, indeed. Good morning, Grenada, Carriacou, and Pretty Martinique. Once again, we're here with Hard Talk. My name is Sheldon Scott.
And I'm Devon Romain.
Yes, and we're live on 97.5 City Sound FM, broadcasting from down there in beautiful River Road, St. George, saying a good morning to each of you in the River Road community. Hope you all are having a fabulous day today. Good morning to you, Django. Good morning to you, Karen. Good morning to you, Superstar. Watch the entire crew, GT. Me and you go fall out, GT. Right? Yes. Good morning to you, GT, and the entire staff down there.
Yeah, at 89.5 CRFM. Yeah, up there in Manjaloo. Campeche.
Yes.
Morning to you, my brother.
Yes, indeed. Hey, and CRFM songing real clear.
Refined.
Yeah, boy. Wow. I know. What? That little rest you get and all, you know, like sometimes you get a rest and you come back stronger. I find that's what Campus do with CRFM. They take a little rest and come back stronger.
Yep.
Yeah, but I hear that man play a little rockers melody day yesterday. I'm trying to call him, man, to make a little beg. I don't get him. What kind of thing is that? I try to make a little beg. You know, I just rate him every now and again for a little two tune. I'm looking to rate him for that. Morning, Campus. Also in Carriacou, 92.9 FM. Hey, I haven't said good morning to Lisa Marie for quite a while. Good morning to you, Lisa Marie. DJ Jack.
Yeah. The security was
Mr. Fraser.
Mr. Fraser, yeah.
Mr. Fraser, the entire crew. Hey, what? Somebody calling already? You know, them people ain't even waiting this morning. They wait for us to say not. Okay. Good morning.
Good morning and welcome.
Mr. Sheldon, good morning.
Morning.
How are you?
I'm quite fine.
Good. Mr. Sheldon, yes, it's yesterday, I think. I heard you said something with reference to the Barbados election or the Barbados Constitution.
Yeah.
And the Grenada Constitution. I would like you, if you have a copy of the Barbados Constitution and a copy of the Grenada Constitution at the station, to read the section that says that the governor, in the case of, there is a difference between in the Constitution of Grenada and the Constitution of Barbados with regards to no person of the opposition that has been elected, whether to the House of Representatives or to the Senate. In the case of the Senate, where three persons are to be, according to the Constitution of Grenada, it talks about three persons to be appointed by the Governor General in accordance with the advice of the leader of the opposition. I do not know if there is any other part of the Grenada Constitution that shows where the Governor General, in his or her own deliberate judgment, can appoint a person to be at the cabinet without, as I said, in his or her own deliberate judgment. But we do understand this. But I'd like you to clarify this for me, the difference between the Barbados Constitution and the Grenada Constitution, where the appointment of a senator, if there's no opposition. Okay? Yeah,
right.
I just would like you to do that.
Oh, no problem.
All right.
Yeah, the thing is, I have not read the Barbados Constitution before in depth. I've looked at various aspects of it due to different bills that would have come before Parliament and various things like that before. But I have not looked in depth at the Barbados, and I've already pulled it up. It's on the computer here. The thing with me is I prefer to read things, digest it first, and then be able to speak about them. So I wouldn't like to get into that directly right now. What I can say is that, and I'm saying this from what has been said in Barbados, especially from now Prime Minister, the Honorable Mia Mottley, is that there cannot be, in their instance, they never foresaw any situation where one party would win all 30 seats in an election in Barbados. They never thought that such a thing could happen. As such, they never had in their constitution any provision for the appointment of senators by the Governor General in the absence of a leader of the opposition. Yeah? They're also going to find themselves into a conundrum in a situation where there may be appointees to various committees and boards and so on that are done by the leader of the opposition. This is in Barbados right now, and there is no provision for those appointments to be made without there being a leader of the opposition. Yeah? So they are having a problem in that context, which is why Prime Minister Mottley has said that what she intends to do is to make an amendment to the Barbados Constitution so that it will allow for the appointment of 2 senators on behalf of the party gaining the most number of votes after the winning party in a general election, if that party has failed to secure any seats, if all other parties have failed to secure any seats. Yeah? Similar to what was being proposed for here. Only that Grenada went even further. Grenada's bill that was put before the parliament was allowing for the appointment not of the senators, but of a leader of the opposition, so that you would have fixed the entire problem. I think that even our good friends in Barbados may need to look a little deeper at this and see that what they may need to appoint is a leader of the opposition and not just the senators. Yeah? Because if they appoint a leader of the opposition, then that person can appoint the persons who the leader of the opposition has to appoint to the boards or so on. Other than that, they're going to end up in a situation where it still ends up being the Governor General having to select persons for all those other committees. So they'd have to have, the amendment would have to be a broader amendment than they're looking at right now. In the context of Grenada, it does allow the Governor General to appoint. I'll get the section in a while, but it does allow the Governor General to select senators in the absence of a leader of the opposition. Yeah, it does allow for that. And that was enforced in 1999, 2013, and again in 2018. Yeah?
See, one of the things too, Sheldon, most of the Caribbean countries find themselves in at this point in time is the whole question of the amendments to their constitution. You know, ever so often as time goes on, a lot of us, Caribbean countries have constitutions that has not been amended for years to keep up with the with the moving trend and so of these countries. So I think countries and the leaders and so political leaders and so need to basically look deeper and try to bring the constitution in line with what is happening in the world today. I mean, not just because of the the 30-0 or the 15-0, but there are a number of things, right, that is needed. And so Grenada, for example, there's a lot of things that we need to do, right, to amend our constitution and so on. We need to start the process.
Yeah, and indeed we do have to start the process. And I think we're starting the process on the right footing when we move to the CCJ issue.
Yeah.
Now, moving to the CCJ, some folks are saying, well, why go to the CCJ first? Why is the CCJ they're looking to do first, and why CCJ? Now, the thing with it is, if you have a legal problem, yeah, as happened in Barbados during their election, they were able, the application was made on the Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the application that was made, including one by a Grenadian in Barbados, was that according to the Barbados law, according to law in Barbados and the Constitution of Barbados, Commonwealth citizens, in other words, citizens of countries like Grenada, once they have lived in Barbados for 2 years, or 2 or 5 years, there's a period of time, I can't remember, 2 or 5 or whatever it is.
Barbados, I think it's 3 years.
Yeah, but once they've lived for that period of time in Barbados, they are allowed to vote as electors in a general election. There were moves by certain people to bar, ban, and block these people from being able to register and being able to cast their votes. So their names were being taken off the list and that sort of thing. Yeah? These individuals, some of them, brought a case against the Elections and Boundaries Commission out there in Barbados on a Friday. The case was heard on the Sunday by the Caribbean Court of Justice. So it's an urgent matter because you are literally within days of registration being closed and within a week of the general election. And you had these individuals who legally were entitled to cast their ballot, but were being told that no, you can't, you're not a Bajan, you wasn't born here, you're not a Bajan, you can't cast your ballot. So they brought a case and it went directly, after they brought it through the high courts there, it ended up going to not to the Privy Council, but to the CCJ. and the CCJ ruled. And the thing is, the Barbados Prime Minister was upset. The then Prime Minister, Frundle Stewart, was upset, and he was upset because the ruling did not go in his favor. In other words, he has made more clear than any other political figure within the Caribbean. He has made the best case for the application of the CCJ as the final court of appeal for Grenada. Better than anyone else, he has made the case because he has said clearly that even though Barbados was the first into the CCJ, they remain in the CCJ, and Prime Minister Mia Mottley has said they ain't going nowhere, they're staying in the CCJ. That he was not pleased with the rulings that were coming out of the CCJ. But the thing is, he do have to be pleased with them because the CCJ, the justices, they are ruling based on what the law says, not on what the Prime Minister of Barbados wanted. And that's what you want. Rule in relation to the law, what is correct. And that is why he has made the best case for the Caribbean Court of Justice for Grenada, because he was upset. He didn't like that ruling at all. He said it disrespecting Barbados. Yeah, but he has made the best case for that that particular ruling. We have another caller online. Let's take the call.
Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Brother Sheldon. Good morning, Brother Devon.
Good morning.
Quick reference to the Constitution of Grenada. Section 62, subsection 2 says, during any period in which there is a vacancy in the office of the leader of the opposition, by reason of the fact that no person is both qualified for appointment to that office in accordance with this Constitution, willing to accept appointment, the Governor General may act without the advice of the leader of the opposition and in his own deliberate judgment in the exercise of any power in respect of which it is provided in this Constitution that he shall act on the advice of the leader of the opposition. So that is, that here speaks to the appointment of senators.
Yes, indeed. And I have it right in front of me here as well.
Yes.
Yes, so section 62.
62, subsection 2.
Subsection 2, yeah. So it's right in front of me here. Yeah. Because the thing is, if that was not there, Grenada in 1999 would have found itself in the same situation Barbados is in right now.
Yes, correct.
And we would have been going through that again in 2013 and 2018. And then after the next election, we'd have been going through it again.
Exactly.
Because we have a kind of similar situation next election.
Yeah. You'll be so far a couple of elections.
Yeah, you understand. Yeah. Somebody. Right. But thank you so very much.
Referring to it, so I just thought I should bring it to your attention.
Yes, thank you very much.
All right.
Yeah. And the thing is that there is no such section in the Barbados Constitution. There's no such section. No. So the Governor General there in Barbados does not have that ability. Section Part 1, Section 36 of the Barbados Constitution, it says the Senate shall consist of 21 persons who, being qualified for appointment as senators in accordance with the provisions of this Constitution, have been so appointed in accordance with the provisions of this section. 12 senators shall be appointed by the Governor General, acting in accordance with the advice of the Prime Minister by instrument under the public seal. 2 senators shall be appointed by the Governor General, acting in accordance with the advice of the Leader of the Opposition by instrument under the public seal. 7 senators shall be appointed by the Governor General, acting in his discretion by instrument under the public seal to represent religious, economic, or social interests or such other interests as the Governor General considers ought to be represented. Provided that before appointing any person under this subsection, the Governor General shall consult such persons as in his discretion he considers can speak for those interests and ought to be consulted. Yeah? And then it just goes into what qualifies a person, but there's no section there that says in the absence of the leader of the opposition that someone can be appointed to the Senate in Barbados. So they're having a constitutional issue there. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And hey, all these things are lessons that countries and governments learn from, because you cannot definitely predict or be for sure what the outcome of any elections will be in any of the countries right now, based on the mood of the people. So there has to be some mind opening. There has to be some twinkling of the constitutions to accommodate a lot of these things, you know. And,
but again, it goes back to what we were saying yesterday, Devon. I think the main issue here is that the people of the Caribbean, not just Grenada, because you have some people who does call themselves politically astute and all, they dunce politically too much, but keep saying all sorts of nonsense like, oh, Barbados was, oh, they vote on issues. They voted on issues here in Grenada as well. Yeah. Grenadians voted on issues. There's this constant attempt by members of the National Democratic Congress, their activists and their executive and some of their rank and file members, to give the impression that the people of Barbados are more intelligent than the people of Grenada.
I know where they get it.
They're trying to say that you stupid and Bajan smart. Yeah? They started up with a story, you know. Something like that never happened, all kind of thing. And then look, bam, it happened in Barbados. So they're trying to switch the narrative now. So, oh, the Bajan people voted on issues. And but Grenadians didn't vote on issues.
No, we didn't vote on issues.
Grenadians voted on issues. You all were the ones in the NDC that went on the platform maligning people. You all are the ones who in all your village meeting and your pocket meeting full of lint all over the place were the ones that were running around and running down people. You all were the ones who were going into various communities and had the nastiest things to say about people. You all, the Randall Robinsons, the Vincent Roberts, yeah? The entire kit and caboodle of you all were the ones that were saying, you're showing one face on TV and radio, but then you're going into the communities and you had the most nasty thing.
Yeah, all Jenny Simon too. Awful and dishonest and lying things they had to say about people.
And then they thought the Grenadians voted on issues.
Oh, yeah, on issues.
Grenadians voted on issues.
These are some of the issues that they voted on.
They voted on who they saw as the most competent group of individuals to take Grenada forward. That is what they did. Do not tell Grenadians that they're stupid. Do not tell Grenadians that we're foolish because we vote for our party. A particular party, and it's not the party that you want. You know what they're behaving like? You know, all of us, we play cricket. I don't think there are any of us that don't play cricket in the road when we were small. Although these children these days, I don't think they know much about that.
A lot of them these
days. It's a real vehicle and all kind of things, so they don't play cricket in the road. But you know, it always had that one fella that he might be the one that have a nice bat, or he might be the one with the ball. And the moment he out, or things ain't going he way in the game, he take his bat and he go home. It always had that one fella in every single village that always act like that. I feel Wade was that fella, you know.
Yeah, you have a lot in the NDC, you know.
I feel Wade was that. I feel Wade was that fella.
Yeah. Wade just take a thing and he and his brother and the man just go.
Yeah.
Understand?
That you have your bat and you find you out. And they say, as soon as they out, you see they take the bat, put it under the arm, and they gone. They say, I done. I going home.
Or you pitching marble, and you find, well, thing go in your favor, you just raff all the marble and you leave and you go.
You make a raff.
Yeah, you understand? And you leave and go. These are the, you see, because, watch, when you check their Sheldon, they have nothing to stand on. Right,
but there are nothing to sit on. There are no seats.
Well, I ain't saying sit down because I know they can't.
They can't sit down.
Just know they can't stand.
Like it's them supposed to take that tune, because they can't sit down. There are no seats. We are all the seats. We can sit down. So, but them can't sit down. There are no seats. So I think we had to flip that song and get them.
Oh my God! It's just but it's about time that they learn that the Grenadian people, they are not whooping. Right, they are serious.
Know what they're doing.
They are serious of what they want for the future. We have generations to come, right? That must be looked after. We have to prepare. That is what we're doing. We are ensuring that there is no obstacle, right, towards development in Grenada, because there are some politicians. They are there, but they like obstacles. They like big stone in front of the hole, right, where everything have to pass. So we need to move them. And that is what the Grenadian people has been doing, getting rid of the square pegs that want to force to go into the wrong holes.
And I think that another point that we made yesterday, that's very important, is that the Caribbean people will not continue to accept substandard candidates from anybody.
At all.
You ain't sending any and anybody and telling us vote for that person.
That day is gone.
The days when somebody would have just say, well, okay, a PNM until I'm dead, or a UNC until I'm dead, or a PNP or a GLP until I'm dead in the Caribbean region, or a member of the ULP or the NDP until I'm dead, or the Freedom Party. Those days, they're dead.
They're real dead.
They're dead. Those days, dead. They're gone. So you can come and face the Grenadian people with substandard candidates and expect the Grenadian people, these intelligent, thinking Grenadian people, to accept these candidates. And any political party throughout the Caribbean that makes the mistake of sending a slate of substandard candidates, especially with a substandard leader, are going to face the same fate.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to face the same fate. And you cannot blame the people who voted for voting.
Yeah.
Because it is not a situation that the person in St. Mark got up and voted and said, I am voting to ensure that one party wins all the seats. No, they are looking at St. Mark and they're saying, I see this person as the person most suitable to represent my interests on a national level and to ensure that my parish, my community, down to my street develops in the way that it should develop. The person in St. Andrew Northeast, when they looked at the two candidates, they say this candidate is the candidate I see as more suitable to represent me for the constituency. The vast majority of persons did it in every constituency. They chose who they saw as the most suitable. You can't vex with people for that. You can't vex with me for my opinion. You can disagree with my opinion. But if you want to vex with my opinion, you're nothing but a spoiled brat. They want to call Pedro and them brat. Always the brat.
And watch, one of the significant things too, with the pattern of the Grenadian voters, the electorate, is that, look, they realize that Grenada was in dire need of getting out from where it was right after the 2008 election. And so 2013, they decided, like, look, we are moving away from what they're seeing. And in 2018, they reinforce, right, their decision to tell people that, look, that wasn't a vote. We put competent people in. It's not only about Dr. Mitchell as the good leader that he is. It's not just about him, but it's about what the party stands for, what they can deliver, and the people have seen that over the last 5 years. Good morning and welcome.
Yes, sir.
Good morning. Yes, sir.
I'm calling back, having heard the person who spoke with reference to the Constitution. 62-2.
Yeah, 62-2.
And 66. Well, he didn't say 66-1. Right? Now, I'm not fully, I'm not satisfied, and I need clarification, because he talks about the vacancy in the office of leader of the opposition. Yeah?
Yeah.
And 66-1 says there shall be a leader of the opposition. Now, in the case of Grenada and Barbados, that one party won all seats. You cannot appoint a leader of the opposition.
No, you can't.
You can't. Okay? But in 66-2, it says, during any period in which there is a vacancy, there is no vacancy of a leader of opposition in this case, in Grenada and Barbados.
No, I think if you're speaking of the Grenada Constitution, what it says in 66-2 is whenever there shall be occasion for the appointment of a leader of the opposition, the Governor General, acting in his own deliberate judgment, shall appoint the member of the House of Representatives who appears to him to command the support of the largest number of members of the House in opposition to the government.
Yes, and that's where it says that. It says so, but 62-2.
That is 62-2 I just read for you.
No.
Yes, that is 62 too.
So you wrote 66?
66 too, yeah.
Okay, 62.
62. Mm-hmm.
2.
Yeah.
Which talks about, it says, during any period in which there is a vacancy in the office of leader of the opposition. I can just stop there to say that during in Grenada's case and even in Barbados' case, not looking at the Constitution, it talks about a vacancy sorry, let me just take it again.
All positions become vacant on nomination.
Of leader of the opposition. So if there is no vacancy because Grenada and Barbados, one party won all the seats, you don't have a vacancy.
No, you do have a vacancy.
Yeah, you don't have a
because there is a constitutional position that cannot be filled, so therefore it is vacant.
Yeah. It
is a position that's created by the Constitution of Grenada that should be filled.
Okay.
There is the little part that says that if there is nobody qualified to fill it, such and such takes place.
Okay.
There is a vacancy because the position, leader of the opposition, exists in Grenada.
Okay.
No one has been qualified, so therefore it is vacant.
All right. So let's go on. Right? To that office in accordance with the Constitution and willing to accept appointment, the Governor General may act without the advice in the exercise of any power. Let me see if I skip.
Yeah, you skip a few words there.
Let me read it again. In accordance with this Constitution and willing to accept appointments, the Governor General may act without the advice of the leader of the opposition and in his own deliberate judgment in the exercise of any power in respect of which it is provided in this Constitution that he shall act on the advice of the leader of the opposition. So I'm saying that I'm only saying that I'm not satisfied with the explanation given. But if someone can clarify that.
I'm trying to figure out what you're looking for a clarification on.
The clarification where we are talking about a leader of the opposition in the case of Grenada.
To me, it's very simple.
What?
You have, there's the position Prime Minister, there's the positions for senators, there's the position for leader of the opposition, all created, members of the House of Representatives, all created by the Constitution of Grenada.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
The position, leader of the opposition, is a position that could either be filled or it can be vacant. At this point in time, that position is vacant. Yeah, it's vacant. There's no one that qualifies to fill that position. So it's pretty simple for me. I fail to see what's the issue here.
Okay. Well, the issue here is where it was, where I heard you last, I think it's yesterday, where you mentioned the idea that there was no opposition, and in the case of Barbados, he was referring to at the time, in the case of Barbados, that they have to make some amendment to the Constitution.
Yeah.
Well, maybe there has to be an amendment to the Constitution in Grenada.
But that was proposed, and it was shut down in 2016. That was proposed. No one is saying that that should not return and that should not be another constitutional amendment. But I think that the CCJ is most important right now, especially considering, the case for the CCJ being so important has just been made in Barbados. Because you had a legal issue in relation to the electoral process that the CCJ dealt with on a weekend. The case was brought on a Friday, and the Sunday, the CCJ met in a special sitting and gave judgment on it. You ain't getting the Privy Council to do that. The Privy Council will be delivering that judgment sometime next year.
I agree. But you see, I say all that my argument is the fact that where on the advice of the leader of the opposition, 3 persons to be appointed by the Governor General acting in accordance with the advice of the leader of the opposition in the Senate.
Mm-hmm.
And where there is no leader of the opposition, the Constitution is silent on the fact that the Governor General acting in his or her own deliberate judgment to appoint senators.
Mm-hmm.
But I do understand that the Governor General can call on anybody. Anybody.
Not
doesn't
in
have to be from
not
the
in the Barbados
opposition
case.
party.
Not in the Barbados system. In Grenada, yes. Not in the Barbados
Right,
system.
right. So I'm saying that because it was referenced,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, to the case of Barbados and Grenada because of what had happened. And as I think your co-host said, that the regional governments have to look at that because it seems that may happen in other countries also.
Well, I think right now, I think there are several political parties throughout the Caribbean that are starting to shake in their boots, and some are starting to take stock. I think probably what has happened in 2018 will go down as one of the most spectacular political years ever in the history of the Caribbean region.
That's right.
You've had two political parties facing the polls and coming out winning everything. So it will go down. This is a historic year.
Right.
But it is also a object lesson to various political parties throughout the region to be very mindful of certain things, to be mindful of how you treat people.
Yes.
I mean, when you're, let's say you were a Bajan, let's say you were a Barbadian, and you're in Barbados, and someone was making that point a while ago online. They sent home 3,000 workers. But meanwhile, in Grenada, just a few miles to the west of you, you have a government who are going through a structural adjustment program and didn't send home a single person. But you are going through a program, you send home 3,000 people. In some instances, you send home 2 members of the same family. But you expect to be able to go and face the same. Now, when you send home the 2 members of that family, the husband had their family, their people, the wife had their people, and all of them watching and saying, you see where you do my brother? You see where you do my uncle? You see where you do my grandfather? All of them watching that. You understand? But not only that. That is one aspect of it. But even doing that, their economy is still in problems. Meanwhile, Grenada didn't send home anyone, and their economy is growing. The economy is growing. You're seeing increase. The latest IMF report again saying that Grenada's economy is doing well. It is growing and improving. So when you look at the contrast, you're a Bajan and you're sitting in Barbados and you're hearing, well, Grenada ain't send home anybody and the economy growing. But we send home people and look, we still in mess. So I mean,
Sheldon, I know somebody else wants to call, right?
Okay.
I know somebody else wants to call, but just let me just say this.
Okay.
I am tired and sick of hearing one individual, right? Every day is talking about this so-called Constitution of Grenada. I mean,
what's so-called? I understand.
I'm tired of hearing this. I would suggest that the individual take the matter to court, because the court is the only jurisdiction that can deal with the Constitution. Now, if he is not going to take the matter to court, may I suggest that he stop talking about it. That makes sense. Okay?
All right, my brother.
Yeah, man. Take care.
All right, take care. You know, also to Sheldon, we're very early on the Constitution. One of the things that a lot of people, some are aware, but they fail to realize that when you go to the polls, you are not going to vote for a prime minister. You're going to vote for parliamentary representatives of the different constituencies, right? And a prime minister emerges when he commands the majority of all the elected members. And so we don't go and vote for a prime minister. Yes, a political party will have a strong leader that will propel that party into office.
It has some people who voting for a prime minister too.
What I'm saying.
Some people, it's only one or two people that go watch it and say, boy, because I'll tell you, some people say, no way a certain man could have been their prime minister.
Yeah, but what I'm saying initially, when you go and vote as an individual,
yes, you're right.
You go and vote for a parliamentary representative.
You're correct, yes.
You know, and so but is a lot of things that the whole question of the Constitution and so on. I was listening to Ruggles Ferguson last night, and one of the things that he made clear is that, look, the lawyers, politicians and the lawyers, the Bar Association of the Caribbean need to up their game and educate the populace about the Constitution, the laws that govern them. And I think they're doing in Grenada's case, you're doing a good job.
But look at this. Let's look at this, at the CCJ issue again, right? Supposing, now it is highly unlikely that the ruling party go bring a case against the election commission here in Grenada in relation to something coming up to the general election. Is more likely that an opposition party are the ones who will file an injunction or file a case against the Electoral and Boundary Commission. In any government throughout the Caribbean, or maybe even throughout the world, it's always more likely that it is going to be the opposition party. Now, it is simple, you know. A general election comes up, and the National Democratic Congress doesn't agree with something, and they file a motion. And let's say they file that motion a few days before the general election. And that motion has to go to the Privy Council. Well, election come in, finish, and maybe another election might come around.
2 elections come in.
Before you get back the judgment from the Privy Council on that one.
And you want to stay in the Privy Council?
Yeah. No, they want to stay in the Privy Council. Whereas you just see for Barbados, the justices and them find themselves in chambers on a Sunday. And within 72 hours, you had judgment in relation to the issue. And some people still saying, well, why go to the CCJ issue first? You go to the CCJ issue first because then you create the architecture. So any other issue that comes up, be it a human rights issue, be it an electoral issue, be it a criminal issue, be it a business issue, can be dealt with expeditiously. That's how Ashby used to say it. What Ashby used to say? I don't know. I never go to school there. You had to tell me if it's that Ashby used to say. Expeditiously.
Expeditiously.
Yeah. Hang around them GBSS boys, they start to talk like them. Anyway.
Good morning and welcome.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
My friend.
Guys, how you doing?
Quite fine.
You see, Sheldon, if you carefully re-examine, when we had our what do you call the Constitutional Reform Committee did our line of effort to vote, for CCG and everything. It is coming to our light, yeah. And at the time that we didn't realize that what we were doing, but now it's a factual thing. Is Barbados are accepting it in many ways, and other islands are accepting it. So people in Grenada are now coming to realize that what we were voting for then at the referendum, it is all facts, yeah. So if we would have voted, then we could have been still further. Actually, we are leading through. You could safely say we will be leading through the Caribbean with those proposals that we had. And even now, we now understanding exactly what we were talking about then. So why people, have to make those problems sometimes along the line. So if we could have make it easy about the leader of opposition and this and that, it would have been an easy task,
And the thing is, I think that some people are now looking back with hindsight at the entire process because, for instance, I will listen to you on the radio because I'm not hearing. No problem. Yeah. Oh. When it comes to the particular bill that dealt with leader of the opposition, some people are looking back and saying, boy, I think I made a mistake, while some people are saying, he damn good. No, seriously. Some people are looking back and saying, boy, I made a mistake, and some people are saying, he damn good. And I'm saying that to say that I think sometimes people approach these things looking at it from too much of a political viewpoint instead of looking at it from a reason standpoint and a sensible standpoint and a common sense standpoint and just decide, my party say that and it's that. But look what happened to your party. I was listening to an argument that was being put forward by Claudette Joseph in relation to the leader of the opposition bill. And she was saying that, oh, well, if a member of the government, the government win all the seats, but if a member of the government cross the floor, then immediately it extinguishes the leader of the opposition that would have been appointed by the Governor General, which it would have done. And then that person becomes the leader of the opposition. But I'm saying, what's wrong with that?
Yeah, that's the constitution.
No,
it's
but what
illegal.
I'm saying that in the context of this. The person who, if once one party wins all the seats, and you had somebody appointed by the Governor General, that's how it would have been if the bill had been passed. Right now, we'd have had a person sitting there who would have been appointed by the Governor General based on the advice of the leadership of the party getting the second most amount of votes, which would be the National Democratic Congress, in the same way that they would have discussed among themselves and decided who to send into the Senate. They would have discussed and decided who they're going to send to be the leader of the opposition, right? That person would have been sitting in the House of Representatives.
Yep.
Now, if a member of the governing side had decided that they're leaving the governing side and they want to become the leader, they could become the leader of the opposition. But remember, they won the seat. The person was holding the position, they didn't win the seat, you know.
Exactly.
They won their seat.
It's only a
So what would have been
yeah.
wrong if one person decided that I am going over and become the leader of the opposition, I'm leaving the government, I'm going over and I become leader. They won their seat.
It's a right.
And as far as I'm concerned, nothing would be wrong with that.
No.
The person has a right to be in the House of Representatives from the beginning. The other person also has a right based on what took place, but they would lose that right because now there is a person that, on the other hand,
and it's so amazing. We need to take stock of a lot of things, right, within our constitution. You know what surrounds us, because we will and Grenada, the Grenada example, we have been always in the forefront, you know, Sheldon, because we have been leading this whole thing of the CCJ within the last 2 or 3 years, and showing that not just Grenadians, but persons in the Caribbean are much more sensitized about the importance of the CCJ, right? And it's coming to pass. I mean,
let's look at another issue here. And this one goes specific to our cultural artists here in Grenada. I'm speaking here to our Calypsonians, to the producers, in other words, the guys who are producing the music in studio and so on, not the guys that are singing it, the guys that they produce and putting the music together, our musicians, our painters, our craftsmen, our playwrights, all of these individuals. The better option for them right now is to have the CCJ in place. And you know why I say that? You have people who have died within the last few months. African Teller, Tangla, Steffi, that these people should have, if all things were equal, should have died financially sound. None of them should have had any problem for money. You know why? Because the creative arts are an avenue for gaining significant amounts of income. The problem though, is that when it comes to copyright and other creative arts issues here in the Caribbean, with the exception of places like Barbados, Trinidad, and Jamaica, in the Eastern Caribbean especially, these issues are basically ignored, swept under the carpet, people don't deal with it. So an artist that should be making a significant amount of money because their song is playing on a radio station and that radio station should be paying a fee on a yearly basis to be able to play their music, and then each of the artists and them who were signed up for that get a little payment out of that. That is not taking place in the way that it ought to take place. An artist, guys like our good friend Dash, or any of the other artists there, Talpri, or Mr. Killer, or Inspector, or the Kingman Ajamo, or Short Pre, none of these artists should have men selling CDs in tongue with their music on it. That should not be happening. It just happen. Man just take the music, they copy it off the internet and thing, and they go and they're selling CDs all over the thing, where the artist should have been making that money. And I'm saying that whereas if there's a legal issue, suppose a particular artist has a problem with the producer in relation to ownership of a song or a creative some music they've created, Suppose, because it's happened in the Caribbean before, that you create a song here in Grenada that the Americans pick up on and it becomes a hit in the United States. In Trinidad, they had that song, Who Let the Dogs Out? And Who Let the Dogs Out? Some guys took it up and it ended up in the United States and it became a big, big song. Right? Millions of dollars. We've had other songs like that way back in the days. You had Drinking Rum and Coca-Cola. Drinking rum and Coca-Cola, way down Point Kumana, both mother and daughter looking for the Yankee dollar. Became a big song with the Andrews sisters and so in the United States. How much money did the artists in Trinidad back then make off of that? And I'm saying the possibility is there because we have very creative people here. We have Valley Ned, beautiful voice and very creative person doing some excellent music. We have artists like Laura Lisa, another world-class artist right here in Grenada. And the possibility is always there that people like Jefferson Ramirez, all of these artists, any of them, would be able to make a tune one of these days that might be picked up by some agency in the United States and make millions of dollars. You know what's going to happen? You're going to end up with a big confusion now between them and the producer. Because the person who sings it, who write it and sing it, is different from the producer. The producer might say, okay, the lyrics are yours, but the music is mine. So I want this percentage and so on. Now, if a case like that comes up, that case, you fight it through the local courts and so on. After that, it have to go to the Privy Council. I can assure you that neither the artist nor the producer could spend the money to go to the Privy Council and fight that case. Neither of them would be able to spend it. And you may be speaking about millions of dollars that could be gained here, but they don't have the money to go to the Privy Council. But if it's in the CCJ, they're knocking that out within a few days. They're dealing with the case. So it's important for the artists, and I'm seeing Party Grenada. Yes, folks, visit partygrenada.com. They say a lawsuit was filed for the use of the tune by Anselm Douglas. Yes, so a lawsuit, that's for Who Let the Dogs Out. Because the Baha men, I believe, is the ones who took it up. One of the, from further up the islands, they took it up. And he filed a case and so on to try and get money for the use of it. So because it's his song. Yeah? But we're saying that there needs to be, for the artists as well, the CCJ is the better option. Because you might end up in a situation, people just look at things and not understand. I remember when the first time I heard Mr. Killer's song, Roly Poly. I think it was a fisherman's birthday celebration. And Killer came up and he said, but I have a new song. This one go take the place. And he came and he sang Roly Poly. I wasn't excited about it the first time I heard it. I hear him sing that song. I said, oh, Killer singing about Fatuman, this Fatuman role. And the more you hear it, the more it builds on you. What ended up being one of the biggest songs ever to come out of Grenada? The same Roly Poly. You understand? So you might be hearing a song right now from King Mana Jamo and not realize that that is the next biggest pop hit. Millions of dollars. But if we do not put the systems in place, read the creative arts, and also ensure that there is legal recourse for artists, we will continue having people who have created some of the best music on planet Earth going to the grave as paupers. Continue having that.
And again, the CCJ, accessibility, very easy for Caribbean people, right? Costs, much cheaper, right? And in the cases, like, for example, in one of the cases in Barbados, the lawyers in Barbados and so didn't have to go to Trinidad, where the headquarters of the CCJ is, on a weekend. You understand?
Video conference.
Video conference in your own country. Oh. Good morning and welcome.
Hi, I'm Devon, Sheldon.
Good morning, my friend.
Yeah, Depo here.
Yes, sir. How are you doing?
Hi there. I noticed that the conversation has shifted towards protocol. And I am calling the station based on an observation. And before I make the statement, I'm going to ask Sheldon, is there a protocol for when former prime ministers traveling and returning at our airport?
I am not sure if there's a protocol for former prime ministers. I believe they can be afforded diplomatic services. But that's for former prime ministers.
Yes, and it's something that they would have to request because, you know, I came down with former Prime Minister Tillman Thomas from New York, and I discussed it with the foreign minister already, and I'm only calling because, you know, it's something that's been bothering me for a little while, and the former prime minister was in line with us, and the new kiosk machine, he went to it, and you know, when they called him and his wife, they were both going to the kiosk machine, and in the earshot of visitors and those of us who go and come, the young lady was telling him only one person at a time can go at the kiosk machine, which I know is kind of ridiculous, because if I'm traveling with my wife, we can go to the kiosk machine. We don't have to take the photograph together. I'm just saying, you know, something like that. I am wondering if the former prime minister should be informing the Foreign Affairs Office when he's traveling and when he's returning, so that something like what was heard would not have been heard while you have visitors and those returning coming back. I was a little bothered about that.
What I would say is I think it's a very unfortunate situation that ought not to occur. But I'll tell you this as well. There are not always diplomatic staff down at the airport. They basically go down there on a need basis. So if there is a request, for instance, in my time when I was traveling, sometimes I use the diplomatic service, sometimes I don't.
Right.
So you would inform the protocol officer that, look, you're traveling at this particular time, on this particular day, and they would facilitate, whether it's 5 o'clock in the morning, they have to have an officer down there. They would have someone down there to facilitate you. But you need to inform them. Otherwise, you would find yourself in a situation that you're down there and there's no one in the diplomatic lounge to accept you and to deal with your processing. So in the case of former Prime Minister Tillman Thomas, I believe he would be afforded diplomatic courtesies. But he would need to inform the protocol unit. And knowing the professionalism of the individuals down there, he would never have been standing up in any line. He would never have to go to any kiosk. They would have dealt with him in the same way they dealt with him when he was Prime Minister.
That is what I thought, and because he also went to custom and
he would not have had to do that.
Behind him, and they asked him about something in his bag. I know my friend Pedro had got into trouble when he was with Devon's government, you know, for extending that courtesy to the mother and the wife of the Prime Minister. But I'm saying that not based on the person. I'm calling because of the office, you know.
Yeah, the former office. And that's the thing. You must respect the former office that the person would have held.
Right.
And as such, it is extremely important.
Yeah, so it's up to the individual to inform the foreign office when they're traveling and when they're returning.
Yes, and I'm telling you, I personally know the individuals down there, and if they had been informed that he was traveling, when he was traveling, he would have been afforded diplomatic courtesies.
Yeah, well, thank you, sir.
It extends,
that's why I called it the station of fairness.
Okay, they would extend it to former prime ministers and former governors general.
Right.
And I think the buck stops there.
Okay.
If you was a former minister, you're going through the line like everybody else.
I agree with that. So I was a little taken back, but you know, I guess that information would suffice. Thank you, sir.
No problem, sir. I think you're more than correct to bring an issue like that up.
Okay.
Yeah, no problem. All right. I'd also say this though. I also think that and I'm not too sure what is the situation right now with that. I know in Trinidad, though, former prime ministers are given a salary on a monthly basis. I think that is a percentage of the salary that they received when they were sitting in office as prime minister. And it's in the higher end, not the lower end. that they receive. They also receive security, because here it is, you've had a person who would have been the head of state, the head of government, sorry, not the head of state, the head of government, and in some instances also the Minister of National Security. So they are afforded a security and driver and that sort of thing. And I think it is possibly something that needs to be looked at for Grenada. It shouldn't, if the person doesn't want it, if they decide, I don't want the security, I don't want the driver, so on, all well and good. But I think it should be offered to former governors general and prime ministers.
But I also think they should not basically, in a situation like that, have a choice whether, or to choose whether they want it or not. And once you're a former prime minister, right, that is something that is not debatable.
No, but
also, it should not be.
Also,
should not be.
Also, though, I think we also have to be respectful of the office that someone held. So, you shouldn't be speaking to the former prime minister in that way, whether it's at customs or whether it's at immigration or wherever, because we would not like 10 years, 20 years, 30 years from now that they're speaking to our prime minister in that way.
Exactly.
So do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Yes. Yeah. So we have to be careful with that sort of thing. We have to be careful with that. We have a call.
Good morning and welcome. Good morning.
Sheldon, I'm sorry to call back, but I'm looking at the manual and protocol procedure. And it really...
You really have documents in your office, boy. What? Your library? Go ahead.
It does not speak to extending courtesies to former prime ministers. I think it's something that probably needs to be looked at.
But you know, they would do it, huh?
The Governor General and spouse, Prime Minister and spouse, Chief Justice, visiting heads of state, visiting heads of government, ministers of government, President of the Senate, Speaker of the House, Leader of the Opposition, ambassadors and high commissioners, visiting ministers, government officials, OECS justices. It goes down though, and it says access arrangements will be made for the persons listed below who are entitled to use a VIP lounge. Assistance can also be requested from personnel at the airport tourist office for these persons. Members of the Privy Council, Knights of the Queen, former Prime Ministers, Chairman of the Conference of Churches, and the Bishop of St. George's.
So it means that he would have had to inform them and request. Yeah. But I still believe that if the protocol staff were down there and they had seen him, they would have acted. But as we know, the protocol staff are not always on the airport. Well, they're not always there. It's not like they have an office that always has people there. It's on request.
I did plan to raise that in another forum, but as it came up now, probably I could raise it.
Yeah, no problem.
I think it was Independence time. Former Prime Minister Tillman Thomas driving himself to Independence celebration, and I thought, wow, that's something that we probably need to look at. Providing a driver, especially for official
occasions,
You know,
well, I think they should have a driver attached to them permanently.
Exactly.
I think it not just for official functions. I think they should have, because the thing is that if we start demeaning the office, and open it to disrespect, open it to people just treating it as any sort of thing, later down the road, the office would mean nothing.
Yes.
So we have to hold it at a certain level. And I'm saying that I believe that exactly what you're saying, drivers, I mean, you're coming to the independence celebration, former prime minister, you might have been a former minister of national security. So you're the one that we're informed of some things that maybe the average Grenadian up to this day doesn't know.
Yeah.
And you are now just left out there. Remember the drug dealers and so on, who you would have passed various legislation to ensure that you seize their properties and so on. And so these people might have a grudge against you. So you should have a driver/security attached to you. That's my personal belief. It's not what is happening now. Even many Caribbean territories, not just here in Grenada, it's not happening. but I believe it's something that should be looked at as well.
I think so.
Especially for former prime ministers, former governors general.
Yes.
Those two categories.
Yeah.
And probably some of the former chief justices and that sort of thing too, to a lesser extent.
To a lesser extent, yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, my brother. All right. Yeah, I know my people at the airport. If they had seen him, yeah, they would, you see, again, about 6 messages now. If they had seen him, they would have fast-tracked him. Yeah? If they had seen him, they would have I'll tell you, while a sitting minister, sometimes I wouldn't bother. I say, we're going and wake up somebody from protocol to come down to the airport this hour to go and meet me for. I just go down to the airport and I go through, I do my thing for myself. But sometimes in coming back in, even though I didn't inform protocol and I'm coming back in, when I'm coming back in and you see the immigration staff see you, they fast track you, they come and they call you out and they bring you over to the line for diplomats and so on. They pass you through quickly. Yeah, so once they see you and they recognize you, they fast track you. Yeah, so I'm saying it's an unfortunate situation, but probably he does not want the courtesies. It could be a case like that he just doesn't want it. He just says, me ain't bothering with that. He doesn't want it. So that could be another way. Devon,
hey, good morning, Sheldon. Good morning, Devon.
Good morning, my friend.
Morning.
Everything. Brother Sheldon, you always come with a referendum, in 2016.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say, you see, you have a party which was looking, we bring everything into politics.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at politics at one side, what it could benefit, right? One, or what they was not looking at what it would benefit them, right? Because Dr. Michelle was in government at the time, and they see now like if that thing comes true, you will be good for him, but it wouldn't be good for him. It will be good for everybody in Grenada, right? Because check what happened now. Where an election call, and one party got all the seats. Where you depend on the governor general to make a decision to appoint three senators for the opposition. So you see, if they encourage the people to vote yes, right, they will not be in the script where they won't have a voice in parliament, because they are looking at one side. But when you look on both sides, yes, it could benefit. It could benefit that one, it could also benefit you. But when you're looking at that, it's going to benefit one person, and you're looking at yourself, and that is what happened with NDC, right? That happened because they were so swell-headed, they were so full of hate, right? And they see anything that happened under NMP that will be successful, like if it's a praise for NMP, but not a praise for the Grenadian people, right? And that's why they end up in the script, right? Because see, Brother Sheldon said, well, you have 20,000 people who vote for NDC, 20,000 vote for NDC. They should have a voice. Well, we cannot blame nobody. They have to blame themselves because what they said to the people. Right? So, yes, if the 23% vote, 20,000 people vote, right, and NDC didn't get a seat, there will still be somebody there in the Senate or in Parliament representing them. But what did they say to the people? Vote no across the board, and the people take heed to what they say and they're going to do it. So whatever they receive, it's to them, not nobody else. That's the problem. Alright?
Mm-hmm.
And Brother Shell, I want to say, the CCJ is a good thing. It's a good thing for poor people. Because you have a case, and then you feel you should win the case, and you appeal, and then because you don't have money, you can't go for the jail live like that. You have to take what you get. So now you have the CCJ on board. I say it is good and it benefiting the poor people in our nation. Right? Because you don't have money, you can't do nothing. You just take what you get. And Brother Sheldon, I want to say, remind you about the harvest in the St. Luke's and in Grenada in St. Luke's, which is Sunday coming.
Okay, my brother.
All right, so you all are on for the God bless you.
Thank you.
All right.
And before we go any further, before
the man deal with you.
Before Honorable Bola deal with me. Good morning, the Honorable Roland Bola. He'll always be the Honorable Roland Bola for me.
Always.
Yes, indeed.
He earned that.
Yeah, remember the Docks Challenge Trophy. Yeah, that cricket competition is starting this weekend. So we're going to give you the locations and the matches that are on the cards for this Saturday. All right. So in Zone 1, you have South St. George versus the Town of St. George. That is going to be at the Tantine playing field. So South St. George versus Town of St. George and that is at the Tantine playing field. Game 2 is going to be St. George Northwest versus St. George Southeast, and that is going to be at the Monjaloo playing field. All right. Zone 2, St. Andrew Northeast versus St. David. That's going to be at the Simon playing field. St. Andrew Southeast versus St. Andrew Southwest, and that's going to be at the Hope playing field. In Zone 3, Game 1 is going to be St. Patrick West versus St. Mark. That's going to be at the MacDonald College playing field. And Game 2, St. John versus St. Patrick's East. That's going to be at the Loretto playing field. So those matches are carded for this Saturday. I don't see the exact start time. Somebody next door, hit me up on the start time. No, don't send it in the office chat, because certain man just forgetting to put me in the office chat right through. A certain fella by the name of Nazim.
Nazim Bok, well, you right to do that?
Nah, not that Nazim who want to go close to the money. Not that Nazim, my next Nazim. Right? Yeah. So let me know the time so that I could tell the folks what time the matches start on Saturday. Winners from the games played this Saturday will play each other on the following Saturday, and then on Saturday the 16th of June. So on the 9th of June and on the 16th of June we have more matches. The winner from the previous game will play St. George Northeast for Zone 1 and St. George for Zone 2, St. Andrew Northeast, and for Zone 3, Carriacou. So the winners are the different matches. Right? So the winner out of Zone 1, right, would play against St. George Northeast. The winner from Zone 2 would play St. Andrew Northwest, and the winner from Zone 3 will play Carriacou. Yeah. Right? And let me see who lucky to go up Carriacou, or if Carriacou could be coming down. I hope it's to go up Carriacou.
Yeah, you have to go up Carriacou.
All you need a cameraman to go up Carriacou. Going.
I umpire. Show, all you need 2 umpires.
I place the stay, Uncle Ba. I place the stay, don't play that Kindra.
2 umpires, all you need that.
I places the stay, Yeah, all I have to do is pick up the phone and call Kindra. Yes, the Honorable Kindra Matthew and Stewart. All I pick up the phone and make a call, Don't play that, Wait, that woman could get things done in the matter. Watch.
Cool.
You drop in your hat, and before the hat hit the ground, she done do what she had to do, She operating like Flash. Also, yeah, go ahead.
No, the Ecstatic
3.
Ecstatic 3.
Yeah, that taking place.
The Royal Grenada Police Force.
Friday. And we also have a Queen show taking place on Saturday. We're gonna give a call to Mr. Sita Hall. Not today, we'll do that tomorrow. We'll give him a call. We will call him. Yeah, and he will tell us. Also remember the governors of the bank and so on. That meeting is taking place in Grenada right now. I have some prime ministers that are in town right now. We don't know if Prime Minister Mia Motley is
here.
Lakeisha Grant, can you give us a call and let us know if Prime Minister Motley is here? Because if she's here, Hard Talk done. I going down. I going and see Mia. Or she coming up, because we know she from St. Paul's. Devon says she from St. Paul's. Well, we confirm. We confirm, man. You want a Grenadian. She from St. Paul's.
Grenadian route.
So she might come up.
Yeah. She'll just take and just stop off by Hard Talk, spend 10 minutes and say thanks to
And watch, but careful. That woman is that woman will actually come if she can't. She hear that she will come.
Yeah, man.
If she in the car and she hear that she will come, we have a caller online.
Good morning and welcome. Good morning.
That song has terminal.
Yeah, that song like terminal.
Good morning.
Morning, Mr. Scott and Mr. Romain.
Yes,
good morning, darling.
Oh, not too bad. When things bother me, Mr. Scott, as a woman that speaks out.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Yesterday, I called and I spoke about something that is affecting me. Other people, it affected them and they're straight to talk. But I have to talk for my right and for my health. You understand? Because I've been having headache from that smell. And I called and I spoke about it. And the people here that work saying that what I vote for. Another one telling me this morning they will victimize me. It didn't matter if they victimize me, but I'm going to talk for my rights. And I want the Grenadian people to know, Mr. Scott, that you said to support NDC, you support the GIP, you support NNC, and something is affecting you, you have the right as a citizen to talk about it, so they're going to know where they're going wrong so they could fix the problem.
Yeah.
Right? So, when the people say they're going to victimize me, our custom is victimization. And I never give up in talking to my right. And I will continue. I will continue talking when things go wrong. You have a program, they call it Hard Talk. So I want you call. So if something affected Miss Scott, I have the reason to talk about it.
Sure.
So they're not telling me because I support NSP and something going wrong, I must talk. Union people talk when they have problems. Right? Labor people talk when they have problems. It's a spot of struggling in the government. I'm struggling. I am struggling in the government and I make sure I pay my rent. And if you have a tenant, you're supposed to treat the tenant right. I complain about the smell. The people are not doing the job. If they complain to Nawasa, they have to continue in Nawasa back to take care of the problem. When I get sick, I could take it with vomiting, I could take it with diarrhea, and when I go to the hospital, my health is important. And I'm talking for everyone. And they're giving me a hard time. And I'm not scared. If you left any church about victimization, I used to victimization. And that did not stop Mr. Amir. Yeah?
But if there's a problem, Cammy, let me say something here. There's a problem.
Talk to them.
No, but hold on.
I get in touch with him, and he says he's going to talk to our WhatsApp people. They have to come and fix the problem.
Let me say this.
Because they're affecting me as a tenant.
But there's a problem, and you said what the problem is. So what's wrong with that? There's a problem. You are being directly affected by the problem. The traveling public.
They have air conditioner.
I guess you.
So they're not getting the sense. And to me, they don't care about the people. I watched the news last night. Now what's that drilling a place in Sulu to take care of the distressed people. And I want them to know before I leave your program, me and others is the government. They have to do something. That smell is affecting my health. Because every state has to get in touch with them. I mean, have to get in touch with them. And they have to do something over the weekend. Right? It's not right. We all people. We all one. When you talk for your rights, people say you're fighting down the government. If I don't talk, how do they know the problem we have here? You must talk to let them know what's going on.
But I don't see where politics come into that. I don't see where victimization come into that. At the end of the day, there is a problem. The problem not should be, not might be. It has to be fixed. They have to fix the problem. The problem is a health concern. It's not an aesthetic thing. It's not just that you find something and looking nice and you want it moved. It is a health concern. So it has to be who want to vex. But at the end of the day, you spoke about the issue because who wearing the shoe does feel the burn. So nothing is wrong with that, Cammy. Don't bother them. Call me anytime and tell me when you have them problem. Call me anytime.
All right,
Cammy. Call me anytime and tell me when you have the problems. All right. Hello. Like she gone by. Hello. Nah, man. Hello. Oh gosh, like she gone. Yeah, she may be listening to the radio in the back there now. No, call anytime and say when you're having one of those problems. Because the thing is, yes, sometimes I pass on the terminal, but I don't be on the terminal every day. So if there's anything is, the manager in Awasa, he may not be on the terminal at all. Somebody who is in a position that can actually get the ball rolling to have the problem solved may not know that the problem exists, because sometimes what you find taking place in some places is that at the lower levels, some people get the information and they keep it right there, you know.
Yeah, right on the
they stick it right, especially when they don't like who send the information. They take it and they stick it right there. But when you call now and you speak out about the problem, yeah, and then people come out to address the problem. Some of them don't even call back and say, well, Cammy did say, yes, Cammy called and she talk about a road. Oh, yes, she called about the road. She say, mud, problem, this, that, all kind of thing. And the road get do?
Yeah, the road get fixed, and everybody benefit. Everybody benefiting.
Yeah.
You know, there are times when you need to step up and talk about things that affect you, right? There are things, okay, we expect the government, we expect the different agency ministries to do things. But as we say, not all the things that need attending to reach to the relevant authorities, right? So sometimes people call the ministry, they call and they say things, and it stays right there. It didn't move to the person or persons that will directly deal with the situation. So, hey.
I could tell you one thing,
you know?
when anybody calls in relation to an issue with something to deal with works, there are various people that listen not only to this program, but they listen to all radio programs. Because that is one of the way. You cannot expect that the engineers and the different people from the Ministry of Works would know what is happening in every nook and cranny at Grenada. So when somebody calls, like how Kami would call and she say, listen, this is the situation with that. It is dangerous. It is affecting our health. Or somebody calls and they say, look, this road is a problem. There's a problem here. This may cause the death of somebody or injury to somebody in this particular area. People have the right to speak out about these things.
Definitely.
So why should anybody be threatening anybody or telling them anything? Watch. No, all the trying, eh? Touch one, Scott, you touch all.
That day is gone through.
Anyhow. Yeah, also, folks, to let you all know, the new National Party will be embarking on a cleanup initiative. That'll be taking place this Sunday, right? So the new National Party, they're doing a cleanup initiative being led mainly by the youth and so on. This cleanup coincides with the UN World Environmental Day project under the theme Beat Plastic Pollution. So they're asking that persons come out in your numbers to support this event. It begins at 6 a.m. and it's taking place at 2 locations. The first location is the St. George Cruise Terminal behind the bus terminals, right behind Kami and them there, right? The rocks at the back, they're going to be cleaning up all the garbage in the back there. And in St. Andrew at Telescope Beach to Grenville. Right? We need our environment and our environment needs us. So we're going to keep reminding you about that one. We have a caller.
Good morning and welcome.
Yeah, good morning.
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 My friend.
Yeah. Sheldon, I would like you to do something for me, please. Right. I want you to look up to see who was the youngest ever senator that passed through the Senate.
Here in Grenada?
Yeah.
I believe the existing senator, that would be Senator Karine James.
Karine James?
Yeah, before her it would have been Devon Romain at 22. I think
what
she's
about,
20.
This Winston White?
No, I don't think Winston would have been the youngest.
He was about 20.
Mr. Ashton,
19, you know.
Mr. Ashton Frame, give me some information there. I know Mr. Ashton Frame is listening and he has that sort of information. He could tell me that within a short while. Mr. Ashton Frame, link me that info.
All right, I will listen for that.
Yeah.
All right, my friend.
Okay, my brother.
Right, good.
Yeah. Winston White, I don't think. He may have been pretty young when he
was
did.
in his 20s.
But I think he was in his early 20s as well. I think it would have been Karine James right now.
20.
She's 20. I think she was actually 19 when she was appointed. Or 20. Anyway, somewhere there. 19, 20. She's 20. I know Devon Romain was 22 when he went into the Senate.
Judd is pretty young also too.
Yeah, Judd is in his early 20s as well, I think.
Yeah.
But Winston White would have been young, but I don't think he would have been a teenager. I don't think he'd have been 19. Yeah, and he'd have had to be 19 to be younger than Karine when that happened. Yeah. So yeah, but we'll find out. Yeah, Chris is saying he thinks Winston was 9. I had to confirm that.
Yeah, we had to confirm that.
Yeah, let me confirm that. Once we confirm that, there is no problem. We got to confirm that. Nice.
The historian might be able to help us. Mr. Frame also.
A long time we hear from the historian.
Yeah, the historian.
Historian, give us up, boy. But folks, we are telling you, again, the time is going to come when you've got to make a decision in relation to the CCJ.
Yes.
I am saying I'm fully in support of the CCJ. Because I'm looking at my artists in Grenada, knowing their potential. I've been hearing some music, although GT and linking me up with it. But I've been hearing some music already for this year. I've already been hearing some music for this year that, believe me, is world-class music. World-class, well-produced. You could tell that the producers are paying attention to the quality of the sound that is taking place. And they're working along with the artists in relation to their breathing, their diction, everything. So there's some wonderful tunes that are coming out there already. I heard some nice ones from Talpri and Lava Man. I've heard from Dash and some nice music that's coming out there, right? So there is the possibility you could never tell what could become an international hit out of Grenada. And next thing you know, you're speaking about, instead of talking about if you get a little bly on a show, you're speaking about millions of dollars.
Oh, yeah.
How do you protect the artists in that situation? To protect the artists, there has to be the legal teeth so that they can go to their final court of appeal and discuss and discourse and come up with a judgment. If their final court of appeal is the Privy Council, Grenadian artists could just forget it one time. Forget it.
They're going through.
They ain't going and make it there. Yeah. But if there is the CCJ, they will be able and they can afford to be able to have their cases argued. So every Calypsonian, the Calypso associations, in my view, should be behind the CCJ. They should be behind it. Every artist in Grenada, whether you're painting, whether you're carving, whether you write plays, whether you write poems, whether you write books, whatever form of creative art it is, one of the people working in the media, because you are creating, you are in the creative art industry. You do a music video, you do a television program, whatever it is, you should be in full support of something like the CCJ, because it opens an avenue for you to be able to gain income properly.
And as I always say, it's quick, it's cheaper.
Yeah. And even the mass bands. Yeah. Mass bands accurate. How would you like, suppose Helen Marie sit down now. Helen, morning. I'll go and check Helen. She has costume selling. Go and check her. She has costume up inside the store. You could go and see them. Yeah? Tell Helen I send you, but don't no bill for me. Tell Helen I send you.
Go ahead.
Right? Morning Garfield. You could go and check Garfield and tell him I send you, but don't no bill for me. $10 straight. Don't no bill for me. Right?
Hannah.
Don't no bill.
Talk to me after, Hannah.
Right. But suppose Helen Marie designs this plethora of costumes, beautiful costumes, and then you leave Grenada and you go to Antigua Carnival and you see the exact same costume on the streets. How does Helen deal with that? How does she deal with that? Andre Garvey and Associates, they design a costume. Next thing they go down to Trinidad and you see Tribe or one of them band and them have your exact same costume. Down to the feather. They have the same costume. How do you deal with that? Now, through the Caribbean Court of Justice, you can bring a matter through the Caribbean Court of Justice as in copyright infringement. Yeah, you could do that. But as it is right now with the Privy Council, how are you going to deal with that?
That's taking months.
You go in, not only months, you go in and find $500,000 to go and fight a case against Tribe or one of them in Trinidad for thieving your costume from Grenada. A lot of people don't really see this thing for what it is, you know. This is not about politics. This is not about NNP and NDC. This is about something that can affect nearly every aspect of our lives. Yeah, because the laws, we live by laws. How we drive, where we drive. What we say, how we say. Where we go, how we go. Yeah, down to what we eat. Laws guide and direct all these things. And if we have to go to the end of the law, but the end of the law is in England, by some people that don't know us, don't care about us, and don't even want we cases up there, but we have the option instead to come to a regional court that could quickly deal with these matters in a very efficient manner and an unbiased manner. We're going to say we're sticking with the people in England? Come on, we have to be some kind of slave.
Well, the people in England telling mentality. Us to get out of this thing. Sooner or later,
but England are using it.
we're going to be left just in the wind. And people have to realize that as a Caribbean people, we need to decide what we really want for ourselves. We need to ensure that, look, in the case of the mass ban, as Sheldon said, a piece of costume, you might see it somewhere else, but because of competition is so close, you want to stop it, you can't go to the CCJ, but the Caribbean Court of Appeal, not the CCJ, but the Privy Council. But the CCJ is there. Within a matter of hours, you can file. You can get a response in 2-3 days. You know, things can happen, right? Quicker, effectively, cheaper. And everybody in the Caribbean will be satisfied.
I've seen situations in the past where local artists have done tunes that have been stolen by artists in other countries. I've seen Boogie B a few years ago. He did a song, If a Whale Come Beat It Out, Shark Come Beat It Out. That's the year after he won the Soca Monarch. And the tune that he did the year after was stolen by a guy up the islands. No, in fact, no, Clear the Smoke. The actual one that he won the Soca Monarch with. That's the one, I'm mixing them up. The actual tune that he won the Soca Monarch with, Clear the Smoke, was stolen by a guy further up the island. The guy sing, they beat everything. The only thing, he just changed up 1 or 2 words in it. That same song. And the guy went into, I don't think he did win, but he went into competition with it.
Oh, wow.
I know how much points he got on originality because it was an original thief. Anyhow. You know, another interesting story that I saw popping up into my timeline early this morning. The person who ran the Democratic Labour Party campaign in Barbados is following the trend of a certain individual over here and has been telling the party, do not accept any Senate seats if any amendment is made.
Yeah.
What kind of stupidness is that?
Cry, baby again.
Yeah, he's telling them, don't accept any Senate seats. That they have to earn the Senate seats. And so in other words, the people that they represent, the people that voted for them, they ain't count. Don't send nobody to represent them.
But what kind of stupidness is that? They have to earn this.
There's a reason the man run a campaign and lose everything. Even the seat of St. John, which was never lost by the Democratic Labour Party in the history of the party, was lost. He can't be the most sensible person politically. Anyway, let me leave that alone. Let me come out of them Bajan thing and come back in Grenada.
But he has some Grenadians too that consider the Bajans to be more educated. They more everything than the Grenadians. You understand? So hey, that's boy. Oh my God, never a dull moment in Grenada. We keep finding excuses. Right? These two political parties keep finding excuses for the loss, for the bad job they have been doing, for the bad candidates they have been putting forward for the people to elect. That is why you lose. The issues, right? The bad candidates and so that is not accepted by the people. You don't expect people to elect persons that they know cannot do a good job. People want innovation, they want new things, they want ideas, but you have not come forward with that. No wonder why you have no seat to sit on. Not even the ground could sit on because you wet.
Anyway, beat plastic pollution. Remember, that's the Environmental Day project. It's going to be taking place on Sunday. We're asking the different members of different communities. You can contact your constituency office. Especially members of the New National Party, maybe members of the NDC, anybody you can contact, because it's Environmental Day, and so they'll be going to the St. George Cruise Terminal, to the back of the bus terminus there, and those rocks in the back there, doing a cleaning going down the road, and also in St. Andrew, Telescope Beach. So those of you in St. Andrew, St. Patrick, St. David, St. John, St. George, contact your constituency office to get more information about where the buses will be. They're starting at 6 a.m. at both sides. So you start early and you come out early. So by the time the sun starts to get hot up, because the sun are a lot these days.
And for
by the time the sun get hot, you're out of there. So starting 6 a.m. sharp.
Only Karakou people that get exempted.
Karakou people, and that
from the travel.
That was say you can do all your own project up there. And I sure Kindra some kind of thing sorted out there. And Kindra have an activity coming up, Yeah, Karakou and Petit Martinique, they had a brunch.
I think
taking place Saturday.
I think we had to take the
boat running.
The boat running morning and go up evening.
Let me see where they had it. Morning short man and Yvette.
Hey, what?
Right. Let me see where they have up the short man. Let me jump the boat now, boy. Anyway.
A speedboat.
Fry bakes, whole wheat bakes, coconut bakes, saltfish sauce. Fried cuckoo, blood pudding, provision, saltfish, and smoked herring.
What's the price of the ticket to go up?
They have the venue in front of the Public Works building.
Right there, not go nowhere.
Right. If it have any boat coming down, Kindra organize me. I see something looking like Aki there, nothing. That not Aki I see in there, girl.
Yeah,
Aki Olia?
A special plate, but that will take too long. We're having the boat coming on quite in the evening.
Minister? Minister Stewart? Is that Aki I'm seeing in the picture there? All link up,
Aki and Saltfish?
Carriacou and Petit Martinique people. So, all you looking out from 6 a.m. this Saturday in front of the Public Works building, the new National Party, Carriacou and Petit Martinique branch, they're having that brunch. Yeah. They're starting from 6 a.m. going until, right?
Barbecue lambi too? So, most of that day.
Boy, cause organized Devon. Right, so fry bakes, whole wheat bakes, coconut bakes, saltfish sauce, fry cuckoo, blood pudding, provision,
everything.
Saltfish sauce and smoking. I need another lunch again.
Sonia, cuckoo? Why you can't eat cuckoo, Sonia? I'm feeling.
Yeah. And if I could find a tune, let me find a tune.
Yeah, cuckoo, that cuckoo thing holding me, man.
See, I had to play old tune because some certain man wouldn't send music from NGT. Glenn Telesword at City Song. Nice, okay, right. I'm calling out his name and all kind of thing, right? Nice.
One day you have to die. You put spirits in your head. You still are dead. You eat organic bread. You still are dead. You take first communion. You still are dead. So I should
4407377. That's 4407377. So remember the cricket competition, the Docks Challenge Trophy that's taking place this weekend. So you're gonna find that at the Tantine playing field, where South St. George versus Town of St. George. Manjalu playing field, St. George Northwest versus St. George Southeast. Simon playing field, St. Andrew Northeast versus St. David. Hope playing field, St. Andrew Southeast versus St. Andrew Southwest. MacDonald College playing field, St. Patrick West versus St. Mark. St. John versus St. Patrick East at the Loreto playing field. And remember, contact your constituency officers in relation as well to the cleanup that's going to be taking place on Sunday. Going and clean up in town. We're going behind the bus terminal. Going and clean up all them thing and them in the back day. And watch, if you have your little gloves and thing, bring it too. And if you have your little garbage bag and them, bring it too. If you have. We go have. But if you have and you want to bring, you could bring.
You could buy a little pack of garbage bag and walk with it.
Yeah, or sometimes you want to donate a little something for that. You could contact the constituency offices or contact the New National Party main office on 4401875, 4401876. You might want to contribute some bags. You might want to contribute some gloves. Yeah, you might want to contribute something. No problem. Contact the 4401875 because I clean up. And we want to see they're looking clean.
Yeah. Yeah? Also too, just a reminder to the nation, the hurricane season begins. Well, it has begun, but officially it's the 1st of June. And a reminder to everyone here in this country, right, to be prepared, be mindful, right, of the preparedness and so that has to take place. We must prepare. I cannot, overemphasize, right, for us to have our first aid kits and everything like that for the upcoming hurricane season. Prepare, have your water supply, all right, have your emergency food supply, and so listen to the official voice, right, of that NAGMA. And so, please be mindful of the hurricane season. More information will be disseminated by NAGMA through the different radio stations and programs.
If you change the name of the company, everything.
And everything. Morning,
Senator Winston Garway, change the name and in MAGMA.
Senator Garway, we need to have a discussion. Senator, we need to have a very discussion.
Prime Minister talking.
Oh yes,
Prime Minister is down at the hey, watch Nazibi, pull it up, show the people now. The Prime Minister talking there and thing in between them various Caribbean leaders and the bank people and all them kind of thing. You understand? That is when Naz wanted to be in between the people with the money.
Good morning, Antonia Granger, my first.
Yes, man. So that's
beautiful daughter. Yeah, good morning, darling.
The CDB meeting that's taking place right now. Prime Minister at the head table. All right, and the various other ministers and so on there.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
a
man.
nice setting right there.
Yeah, man. All they looking good, boy. They looking good down there.
Flags galore.
Grenada Trade Center, all they looking good down there, boy. Yeah. All they looking good down there. Nice.
Antonia, how is my wonderful grandbabies? I hope they're doing fine. Yeah.
I seen two Antonia there, so careful. Nice.
and Antonia Granger, the same.
All right, okay. Nice.
Hey, by the way, that's my first daughter, though.
That's your first daughter?
Yeah.
All right, definitely not your last, but anyhow.
Yeah.
44073.
Leave that alone.
4407377
and 347-329-3101.
We have roughly 18 minutes remaining on today's program. Yeah?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm still... Why some people so grudgeful, man? I realize a certain man grudge... Oh, you could grudge Shaggy, so okay.
Yeah.
Every time a survey is done in relation to popular radio programs in Grenada, Shaggy coming out on top.
Number one.
Yeah, Shaggy coming out on top.
They mad, they vex.
I mean, I feel something wrong with the survey because I feel Hard Talk on top.
I mean, Hard Talk.
I mean,
right
we are 97.5 and 89.5. You know, you can't beat them two stations there. You know, you can't press that fling down some rockers and all kind of thing after that. 97.5. When you hear Django and them start to hit you some soca and thing, and you hear GT going on in the morning, watch something had to flip between GT and campus, GT and campus, GT and campus. Then in Carriacou, you had the original sound of Carriacou and Petit Martinique on 92.9. Then you had the Madman Wade up there in Brooklyn. So how Hard Talk on all them station day, and Shaggy still beating us, boy? Well, if we get licks, we get licks.
If we get licks.
we ashamed to say it. If we get licks, we get licks. But it's jealous, the man. And the thing is, Shaggy getting thing done. Somebody call and they complain about something. Shaggy picks up the phone. He call, whether it's Nawasa or so, or he call the line minister in relation to it or so. He gets information in relation to things. He knows how to find down to the prime minister and all. So Shaggy gets some stuff done. People want to vex with him for that. You're jealous and bad mind.
Yeah,
you're grudgeful.
You don't want nobody
grudgeful.
You don't want nobody
eat up your
help
phone.
Grenadians.
Eat up your radio now. Eat it up. Bite your radio.
They hateful.
Bite the knob off.
But you know, if the same guy is on a radio station, calling people all kinds of names, all kinds. Oh, they begging, they this and they that. But you on the radio station begging the same Grenadians to support your program.
You could eat organic bread.
Come on, man. That is so idiotic and foolish of you.
Leave the man alone.
Don't you don't treat and disrespect your own people like that and call them all sorts of names and that sort of thing and then you're calling them they begging and they this and that. Come on.
Calm down.
Sick man.
No, but calm down and forget him and that. The bottom line is this: they bad mind and grudgeful. Because I can't see that somebody's offering a service where they're helping people and you don't want them help people. That means you're bad mind and you're grudgeful. You're grudgeful. You grudge Shaggy. You grudge him. You're grudgeful. Yeah. You're hateful individual. You're grudgeful. Because the man is offering a service and people are using that service. Because he's helping people. Because he is assisting people. Yeah? Vex for that. Grudgeful. And why? Because all you can't control the program. Shaggy control the program. You can't control the program. So you vex. Yes, we started to do right around after election time. They started to make all the people call Shaggy and try and take over the program. But Shaggy take hold of the program, so they vex. All you can't try that here. All you know, this is one program, all you ain't trying that. Yeah, when all you started all you tripping this one time is klunk klunk. And I'm pushing it for all you to hear, you know. I ain't pushing it the normal, easy way when I end and I'm pushing it hard. Let them hear the kluk kluk.
Sheldon,
they can't try it here.
I also noticed...
Time to stop that strippiness, man, yeah.
I also noticed too that the continuation of the removal of all the sargassum seaweed from the different areas and so it's going smoothly.
That is going smoothly.
And a relief for the different villages on the sea coast that has been affected, you know.
The thing is, I hate a thing called hypocrisy. You have people that been calling, move the seaweed, move the seaweed, move the seaweed. You start moving the seaweed, now people start to cuss, oh, you're taking all the sand with the seaweed, oh, you're taking all this. I mean, how are you going to move it without, and especially move it in an expeditious manner, using that word a lot today. How are you going to move it in an expeditious manner without taking some of the sand with it? Some of the sand will go with it. Generally, it will move it because it's kicked up onto the beach.
Yep.
Yeah, and it is causing a stench. It's still causing a stench, even though it's being removed and removed quickly. It is still causing a stench.
And I see a lot of farmers also is taking the opportunity to gather some of what they need, and so and I hope that it can be used the right way, and not just we don't use it indiscriminate. Persons get information, find out the best way to use it, to apply it, and so right, so it won't create an additional problem, right, for us, like, and so.
But Devon, to me, it's like you do, you don't do, same cost.
Well, you never
so
stop.
So if you leave it there, you're getting cost. You take it up, you're getting cost.
So we go keep doing, we go keep cleaning it, you see.
But the thing is, when you realize, is people who have a political agenda that keep costing. No matter what you do, you're getting costs. No matter what you do or you don't do, you're getting costs.
They don't like to see things go smoothly in Grenada, especially. Right, they had to put a political statement, especially the NNP and Dr. Mitchell is in office. Nothing cannot go right in this country for some people.
And that's
I'm wondering why.
And that's the thing. It is simply a matter of who is in office. Now, I even hear them talking about citizenship by investment. Well, if you're afraid to talk about citizenship by investment, I hear them speaking about citizenship by investment. The NDC administration was about to reintroduce the passport program.
Of course.
As they call it, citizenship by investment program. In fact, there's hardly a country on earth that doesn't have a citizenship by investment program. Even Canada had a citizenship by investment program. The UK, the US, all of them have citizenship by investment
program. It's not publicized, right? And so, but it's there. It's there in some form, and so where persons are able to go to another country and invest, right? And so, and get whatever benefit that country,
Brenda and Hannah, all of these two like too much confusion. Behave all yourself.
Yeah, deal with Chris.
All you like too much confusion.
Deal with him. Only me alone, he want to juke up and all that. Let a woman deal with you.
But and we're saying this, that to some people it seems as though nothing is ever right as long as it's being done by the New National Party for them. Yeah. So they keep saying, yes, we support the CCJ. The CCJ is a good thing, we support it. But not under the NNP.
Not under the NNP.
But if we take that approach, we will never have any amendments to our constitution. We'll continue to have problems.
Because NNP will be in office for a long, long time.
But not just that. What is going to happen is you're going to create a mindset where people start to look at the party before they start looking at the country. And you had many people.
For them.
And let's be clear here. There were many people. This election, March 13th, that went here in Grenada, there were many people who voted for the New National Party candidate and were not supporters of the New National Party. There were many people who were actually supporters of the NDC, but they found the candidate that was put there by the NDC to be unpalatable.
Yeah, so they couldn't vote for
and them. They voted for the New National Party candidate. You had various people who were members of the NDC that found that the political leader of the NDC, they in their right mind could not see him as being their prime minister, and as such they voted for the candidate of the New National Party within their constituency. They looked at the country before their own political party that some of them are card-carrying, due-paying members of. They looked at the country first. And if we continue with this thing, about when it comes to constitution, we want to look at if you're an NNP vote this way, if you're an NDC vote that way, and we don't look at what Grenada needs. If we continue to take that approach, it will never have any amendments to the constitution of Grenada. You know why? Because then the NNPites go say, when NDC come in and they try to do it, so it couldn't happen under us, but they want it to happen under all, and they're going to take the same approach. They're going to start to say, well, no, we're not supporting it because it's NDC in power. We have to look past that. Look at what is best for the country. We had to do it. Yeah. Anyway, folks, 440-7377. Devon, what's your vaccine number again?
Oh, 347-329-3101.
Yeah, I think some people organizing to send a little payment to help a little man keep your radio program on. Yeah. Somebody, they're trying to put together money. Chris and them trying to put together money there.
Yeah, a couple of pens. Chris, you need more than pens and things to help that, because it's.
They may need pens. They need prayers.
Yeah, they need prayers, and they need the forgiveness of the Grenadian people.
They jealous Shaggy. They grudge Shaggy.
I just can't understand.
Patrick Shaggy Duncan, good morning wherever you are this morning.
Election has come and gone, right? The Grenadian people, the different political parties campaign on issues, the issues that the NNP campaign on, and the persons that they put forward was much better, was much more organized, so they were victorious. Good morning and welcome. Good morning.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good morning.
Listen,
I know where you're living.
The two of you down, they can call me anything once, all you ain't calling me collect. Or you can call me anything all you want to know. Calling me crazy, mad. Call me once, all you calling me collect. Because anytime all you say, all you have to don't pay for that call. Anytime all you call me collect and call me something, you'll be trouble. And Sheldon.
Yes, sir.
It was 8 of us in a yard, So we didn't have to go and borrow nobody cricket bat and them kind of thing,
Wait, I hear you used to take your batter and go home. That is why here, so I buy, so I sell.
Leave me out of that, mister. Right.
So I hear, so I sell. And back in those days, you could have played cricket in the road. Too much cars these days, we can't even play cricket in the road. Wait. It look like he gone, boy. I ain't got you off.
Bye, Wade.
I ain't cut you off, not me. I didn't cut you off. I feel he probably passed in my area that
when you see Wade get vexed, Wade grabbing the bat, he ball, he lick his sister, he brother, and he gone. Oh my God. Good morning to everybody on the live. It's been a wonderful, beautiful morning in Grenada.
Yeah. The thing is, and we have to get it clear when it comes to issues like okay, let's go back to the line. I think he got cut off, so I'm sure it's him calling back.
Good morning.
I got my hand hit the button and the phone cut off.
Oh, okay, all right.
I hear they talk about cuckoo. I go and see if I get some fried cuckoo.
What cuckoo you getting up there? Now cuckoo you getting up there, right?
Why you keep it back? You get New York.
Light flower kind of thing. I could say that because I experience that kind of thing.
Listen, I'm a jockey, so I light. I cannot keep food, eat heavy stuff. Hello.
Oh, boy.
How you doing?
Boss, you can't be talking to us on the phone and talking to a young lady passing.
We ain't going on bother with you. We going on cut you off.
Just cut him off. I mean, that's...
Stop hating the fella. Stop hating. So Sheldon Shaggy program is the one program?
As far as the media surveys have been done, Shaggy keeps coming out on top.
What?
The most listened program.
We gotta do something about that.
We gotta do something about that?
Well, I feel I was taking Hard Talk into consideration.
Yeah, they wasn't taking Hard Talk into consideration.
I feel like looking at that time slot in the morning, they are alone, man. I feel like looking at the rest of the day.
Just the morning time.
Not the morning.
All wrong.
Not the morning time. Just that's 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. time slot they're looking at. I feel like looking at the whole thing.
Yeah, they're looking at the whole thing.
Oh, okay. Well, we had to move up Campeche from 6 to 8.
Boy, hey, Campeche does do a wicked program in the morning. Go get tapped.
Wayne, what is the weather like in Brooklyn?
Boy, it's hot, boy. It's fiery hot.
Well, yeah, stay up there now.
Please burning up.
Yeah, that's the kind of heat all you want up there, trumping all your tail.
Yeah, I find you real like Trump.
Trump.
When you see when they build the new federal jail, they're building on the Mexican border, on the Mexico side, behind the wall. They go put you in there, keep reeling up Trump.
Trump and them don't like children, they don't like children at all.
I find out they keep attacking the president of the United States, and then you go and look for a visa.
Trump don't like nobody that is a dependent.
Hey, listen, fellas, let me know.
And he was one,
Have a good day.
Fellas, all right. Bye-bye, Wade. Bye-bye. Listen. Later, Wade. My brother, later. No, you see, what are they doing there? Yo, stop that now. Because Wade and Devon, stop it. And I'll tell you why.
Trombone.
My visa expired. I had to go back. I I don't gonna face these people just now.
I don't think, man.
If I don't get my visa, it's you, Mr. Devon and Wade. I go in and ask for my money back, and I ain't asking them American for my money back because to all of that people don't get my visa. Right? I go into Wade had to send half, Devon had to send half. I'm not making joke. Right? Only way I might ease up Devon is if Isaiah get involved.
But you know, Sheldon, too, a significant thing that is happening in America, well, in the Hawaiian Islands, this volcano situation, man. It's really...
That's actually happening now.
Yeah.
Because some of the footage I saw was from a year ago. I didn't realize it's still continuing.
No, it's still continuing. As a matter of fact, they're asking a lot of people to evacuate instead of just, being around, they're moving them out, and so, and hey, just the different trends and so on. Then you have the summit, which is on and off with President Trump and Kim Jong. So I like a young fella,
But even if they meet, nothing coming out of it.
Well, it's just, Trump looking for a Nobel Peace Prize.
You feel them go a nuclear weapon and give it up?
For who? when they don't look and realize the solution that Gaddafi went through. Right, Gaddafi dealt in good faith with them, and what they did.
See what happened to Saddam. Let me go further back. To see what happened to Noriega. Watch, I can't discuss that. I had to go for my visa. We'll talk about that next time.
And all of them is one set of people that do it, eh?
Boss, it have people listening. We'll talk about that next time. Trump. No, I love the United States. Just leave me out. I like the United States. I love them. I love the Americans.
Hey,
right? Nice.
Just to let people know, tomorrow, please the Lord, it's another fruit break day.
A fruit break day.
Fruit break day. Mangoes, plum, sapodillas.
Like if he does leave
bananas,
man does
and
go
all
with
kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? So
the man does go with eating. The man don't leave anything here. The man going with eating. I say, well, the man go leave a little something on the table. The man go that way.
Well, not only person that get them things is Isaiah, boy.
Yeah.
That's the only man that get these things. Isaiah. Banana, the fruit, that's a fruit, man.
Yes, indeed. And we have roughly 2 minutes remaining on today's program. Just to remind you all, of course, the CDB meeting, it is taking place in Grenada right now. Down at the Trade Center, there's several other sections that are going to be sessions that are going to be taking place over the next couple of days. So if you see some vehicles going down, flashing lights and thing, or coming up, flashing lights, and so there's a different prime ministers and
big wigs in town.
They're around for a couple of days, and so show them some love, folks. Show them some love, right? So that is going to be happening. Also, remember, Ecstatic 3. We can't tell. Listen, you saw the lovely police officers that came inside here. I started to blush, all kind of things.
I'm telling you, I
blush. Miss me blush.
Real blush. Especially that one with
Go ahead.
Good morning to all the beautiful contestants.
Go ahead.
Women,
I hear about you.
Right in the thing.
Go and choose one side.
Prison officers.
What Devon call one police officer name over the other, and then I want him bunks up the other one in a traffic stop.
Well, good thing I call him prison officer. I ain't calling the police there. I don't go up in the prison for the deed of me.
Go and choose one of the officers over the other, then end up in a traffic stop. I go hear about you.
But they are some wonderful.
Good day, Mr. Romain. License and insurance, please. This disc is expired.
Yes.
Your tires need to be changed. Your brake light is not working. But when I finish with your day. But folks, before we go, this day in history, 1944, was the birth of Grenada's second prime minister. He's officially second prime minister, right? Maurice Bishop. Yeah, he would have been 74 years old today. Yeah, he would have been. Maurice Bishop would have been 74 years old today. All right. And also, just a quick note to each and every one of you. Dengue hemorrhagic fever. It is beginning to circulate the Caribbean region again in a serious way. You have to keep your communities clean. Yes, the New National Party, as a political organization, we are holding that cleanup on Sunday behind the bus terminal there and in Telescope along the beach, and so getting rid of the plastics and all that sort of thing. But you need to be doing your own community cleanups constantly as well. We don't want to wait until when 60% of the workforce in Grenada down with dengue before we have to start cleaning. And from I've been hearing some people speaking at their experiences with dengue. And believe me, it sounds worse than Chick-V and Zika put together. To some of them, it sounds terrible, and it can kill. It can kill. So I think it's very important. Usually, coming around this time, June, July, going down to August, September, October, we have this incidence of these different viruses coming around with the mosquitoes. Let us try to reduce the mosquito population. Don't wait until when you see your whole neighborhood get sick to try and go and clean up. It's too late. It's too late. Keep your areas clean now. Don't just sit down there and listen to me, you know. Keep your areas clean now. Government will commence with the fogging and so on. We'll give you the fogging schedule when we receive it. They'll start the fogging and so to deal with the mosquitoes. But dengue fever is in the region right now. So you had Zika, you had chikungunya. Dengue is in the region right now. You open the door and nothing else along with that.
And you can help.
Clean your area.
Clean your area, your containers that you catch your water in. Pay attention to them as a potential breeding site for the mosquitoes. Right? Take care of them. Do what is necessary, right, to ensure that they do not multiply. So then the possibility of transmitting the disease is more, you know.
You have to pass on the law to the people. Keep the place as clean as a whistle. You have to pass on the law to the people. Keep the place as clean. I ain't gonna sing the rest of that song. It can be sung on radio. Anyhow, that's all the time we have for today, folks. It's been wonderful being here with you. My name is Sheldon Scott.
I love Devon Romain.
And in whatever you say or do it safe and secure. We want to be speaking to and with you.
And not about you.
And we go drop this one for Brother Bish. Yeah, let me play a song for Brother Bish as we heading out.
This one is for Bish.
Stay up to date with all that's happening with the new National Party, NNP. Send us a message via text or WhatsApp on 405-8683 with your name, email, and constituency. Stay in the know with NNP. Get updated.
CDB approves $1 million towards IMF Caribbean program. Details to this story and more in the National Report. With the National Report, I am Leslie Ann Johnson. The Caribbean Development Bank, CDB, says it will renew support for a program designed to help countries in the region strengthen their human and institutional capacity to design and implement policies which promote growth and reduce poverty. During a meeting in Grenada on Monday, the bank's board of directors approved $1 million towards the International Monetary Fund's Caribbean Regional Technical Assistance Center, or CARTAC, program until 2022. CARTAC is one of 10 regional technical assistance centers operated by IMF around the world. In the Caribbean region, the center has supported capacity building in public financial management, tax and customs policy, and administration. The CDB will bring together government officials, experts, and thought leaders for 3 interactive sessions during the 48th annual meeting of its Board of Governors in Grenada this week. Delegates will address 3 topics: building resilient cities, the blue economy, and regional air transport during the events, which are scheduled to take place on May 30th and 31st at the Radisson Grenada Beach Resort. After a devastating 2017 Atlantic hurricane season, the bank designed the meeting to include a forum for discussing building resilient cities. The seminar will provide a preview of the bank's urban sector policy and discuss solutions to and progress made in addressing the region's urban sector challenges. The meeting will be officially opened on Wednesday morning. No longer can staff complain of poor lighting and an uncomfortable learning environment at the St. Teresa's preschool as their new facility was officially opened on Friday last. Following the cries for a new facility, funding was secured through the Caribbean Development Bank's Basic Needs Trust Fund project. Minister for Education, the Honorable Emmeline Pear, says government invests millions in improving infrastructure, all geared towards ensuring that the best quality education is obtained.
The investment that this government is making in education, it is tremendous. As a matter of fact, only about 2 weeks ago at a regional meeting, Grenada was flagged for one of the highest investment in education in the region. This government is making it its business to invest more and more in education. But we have to ask ourselves a tough question. Are we getting back more and more, or are we getting back less and less? It means that if we are putting in more, the expectation is that we should be getting out more out of education.
The principal of the institution, Marlene Batiste, is elated that the environment is more conducive to learning. She charged her teachers to make the best of the new facility to produce happy, healthy, educated children.
We can assure you that we will utilize the facility to maximize our efforts as teachers, thus creating more meaningful learning for our children. We will be forever grateful to you, and your name will be etched in the archives of our history. To the government and people of Grenada, through the Minister of Education, and more directly through our parliamentary representative, Honorable Oliver Joseph, for pleading our cause to provide that extra funding that was needed for the completion of this project.
And Parliamentary Representative, the Honorable Oliver Joseph, pointed to the importance of education to reduce the cycle of poverty.
Education is what will take you out of poverty. And that is why we use education as a poverty reduction strategy, you know. It's not just because we want to build a preschool. We believe, and I believe, and I have personal experience having lived in poverty, come from poor family, how education could take you out of poverty. So we invest heavily as a government in education.
This is the National Report. More news after the break.
This year promises to be a spectacular affair as beauties of the Caribbean compete on one stage for the title of Miss Caribbean United. Come see contestants from the islands of Trinidad, St. Lucia, St. Kitts, Nevis, St. Vincent, Anguilla, Dominica, Venezuela, Antigua, Dominican Republic, Margarita, Barbados, and host country Grenada. It's the 2018 Miss Caribbean United pageant, Saturday, June 2nd at the Spice Basket, uniting the Caribbean through beauty.
Continuing the news, 3 young men have won themselves close to 13,000 EC dollars in total after snagging the top 3 prizes in the CDB Vibesing 2018 Music Video Challenge. The winners were announced at the end of the week-long boot camp that was held at the Calinago Beach Resort. 30 young persons received certificates for successfully completing the boot camp, which was held under the theme Climate Action Today equals Food for Tomorrow. The winning team, which presented its pitch under the team name Aqua Refine, shared ideas for reviving the agriculture and fisheries industry in Grenada. The group proposed an aquarium structure which would hold both fresh and saltwater fish. It would serve a 3-part need by creating food, preserving marine life, and providing a tourism attraction. Mr. Kevin Andel, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Youth Development, Sports, Culture and the Arts, said the participants must now put into practice what they have learned to help preserve Grenada's environment.
When you leave here, you are supposed to be a change agent. You are supposed to go out there and practice what Professor Ogaro taught you about how to combine agriculture and sustainability.
17-year-old student Javon Blood won the first prize of 5,300 EC dollars with his video Climate Action. Brandon Braffett won the second prize of 4,100 EC dollars with his video Be the Change, and Lyndon Pope won the third prize of 3,300 EC dollars for his video Take Action Now.
Where I think we took the 2 points was from the facts. We gave examples of, how governments and leaders can, help boost the agricultural sector and everything like that. So I think that's where we took it home.
We really wanted to have an impact with what we were saying, what the public would feel from our video. We kept it organic, no need for any extra text or so. We wanted them to feel, this is Grenada, we have a beautiful island, let's maintain that.
It was a great competition, and I really think that the Ministry of Youth should continue doing the competition probably next year. some other time, but overall it was a great competition.
The Inter-American Institute for Cooperatives on Agriculture, ICA, was commended by the government on the significant contributions it has made in the development of the agriculture sector in Grenada. On Friday, ICA presented its annual accountability report for 2017 and listed priority actions for 2018. Last year, ICA worked along with farmers, schools and organizations to promote backyard gardening, strengthening extension staff through training and boosting the beekeeping industry. Speaking on behalf of the Minister for Agriculture, Permanent Secretary Elvis Moraine said ICA's contribution over the years cannot go unnoticed.
ICA Grenada continued its technical collaboration on climate-smart agriculture with the GIZ, conducting a comprehensive training workshop on the safe use of compost and organic manure on farmers or to farmers. ICA is also supporting our efforts to develop the agriculture subsector, a sector that can contribute significantly to increasing foreign exchange earnings and expanding youth entrepreneurship.
ICA's national specialist, Derek Charles, said forging ahead, the Institute will focus on climate-smart agriculture, food and nutrition security, resilience to climate change, and agri-business development.
It's resilience to climate change. And one of the instruments we thought of was the capacity building activity. Well, the people, the consultees thought of capacity building activities. And in terms of the modalities, they look at the technical and operational support to identify and implement development strategies. Just bear them in mind. The other aspect was natural resource management. In terms of the instrument, we have development of concepts, methodologies, standards, and so on. And in terms of the modalities, we look at technical and operational support.
He said consideration will be given to establishing crop insurance.
We think that's a very important area. I know the FAO is doing some work with the ministry in that area. We had some consultation with them. And they are quite supportive of the index insurance and the model that was done by Windcrop over the last number of years. But what they are saying, they need to strike a balance because neither of them probably could satisfy the needs of the farmers in Grenada. So the consultation continues as we go ahead.
And that's the National Report. I am Leslie Ann Johnson.
Welcome back. Putting idle lands back into production. That's one of the major benefits being realized under the Cane Co investment project operating here in Grenada. The project have been bringing new meaning to the term cane production as they prepare for the manufacturing of Renegade rum in the next few years.
Since the government of Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell assumed office in 2013, they have embarked on an agenda to encourage and promote business with local and foreign investors. This week's State of Affairs takes you to one of the projects, Cane Co, better known as Renegade Rum, where we bring you an update as to what has been happening.
About 2 years ago, Renegade Rum Distillery officially launched its operations here in Grenada, promising a product that's second to none when production begins. But to get to the point of producing an actual bottle of Renegade Rum, the agricultural arm of the company, Cane Co, has been putting in the groundwork by planting and producing cane for production. Since the launch, a nursery was set up in La Colombe, St. David, where the various strains of cane is being grown and distributed to other locations for planting. They have been operating for a year and 9 months.
And we are monitoring the progress as we go.
And we want to see how they perform at different locations. And generally in Grenada, from previous soil tests that was done, the soil in Grenada is, especially along the coastal area, it's very good for sugarcane. We are getting excellent growth. In fact, it's way past what the study would have indicated.
To date, close to 100 acres of cane had been planted in various locations. The ultimate goal is to have about 600 acres of cane planted by mid-2019.
We have about 29, close to 30 acres at Bacala. That's where we are right now. We are cleaning, presently we're doing some cleaning on the other side, which may give us about another 15 to 20 acres. We have just about 35 acres at Riverantine. That's in St. Patrick. And we have the nursery, which is 14 acres at Bacala. And we have another 25 acres at Hope in St. Andrews. Most of it, like I said, is along the ideas of the sugarcane.
The project is taking a careful and calculated approach to growing cane from the climate to the soil type and the terrain of the lands. It's certainly not business as usual, all to ensure a quality product that is rich in taste and texture. A survey was conducted prior to the launch of the company to find out if the country could handle a project of its magnitude. When the results were positive, an implementation survey was done as well as soil tests.
But we want to empower farmers. That's what I do in Scotland. That's what I do in Ireland. What we want to do is encourage farmers by making it worth their while to grow cane, showing them how to do it. We've got the machinery that we can use. We've got the varieties that we've cultivated over this last 3 years.
That is Mark Rainier, investor behind the Cane Co. and Renegade Rum Distillery project. He's in Grenada on one of his regular trips to check up on the project, make connections with local farmers and landowners. He is calling on persons to get on board. The cane will be provided and farmers or landowners will be compensated monetarily.
This whole project is a new look at growing cane. I'm not interested in how people have done it elsewhere. I'm not interested in what methods they use or whatever. We're looking at this completely fresh. So I don't want to be influenced by what other people do. So we're looking at it anew. So we've got 7 ideally suited varieties which we have tissue cultured. We've gone to those lengths. To make sure it's hygienic and it's clean, and so at least we're starting with that clean sheet.
Lands have already been leased in Hope, Bacalat and Riverantine, among others, bringing it back into cane production. It is not the company's objective to buy lands, but to work with farmers. One of the farmers who have come on board is Jeremiah from Plains St. Patrick. He owns acres of land and is working along with Cane Co. to bring it into cane production.
And when I heard about this Cane Co. company, I was kind of enthused, knowing that at least this land up here can be revived and put under heavy production with sugarcane. I saw something on the television. I think Cane Co. company and people have been talking about it, and I inquire. I know BJ very well. I called BJ and then I say, actually, I happened to call the right man because he was right in the heart of all things. So, and then he says he himself was actually happy I was actually getting involved in that level of agricultural production.
Some 60 persons have been employed to farm the ground, some of whom are gaining useful skills and experience on the job. State of Affairs heard their story.
Well, I've learned how to deal with the cane, how to handle the product properly. I've learned how to use a cutlass, which most of us don't know how to use. I've learned how to plant cane, like cover the cane, like use a fork and stuff. And I've learned how to deal with people in different moods and how to deal with the different weather changes. I've learned how to plant it. There are a couple inches, you have to plant it a certain inches apart. The beds have to be a certain, about 18 centimeters or so apart. I can't remember the specific numbers right now. And then again, like I said, I have learned the type of disease that can take
that the cane can get. I've know what chemical. I've learned what chemical to treat it with. The growth of the cane, right? So I've learned that.
Yeah, the training would have been like on the job. There are a couple of them who had experience in cane before. They would be children of parents who had cane prior to the decline of the industry in Grenada. So some of them are back, and some new ones who would be exposed to cane for the very first time as a result of this project.
I'm very happy that your company, Kenco, actually came to this land to get farmers like myself and to get other farmers involved. It's like a ray of hope and a ray of light has been shown up in Grenada one more time, where the place can be put under heavy agricultural production with respect to cane.
All this fuss about locations, strains of cane, climatic conditions, soil type and handling of the cane is to ensure a premium product, one that will sit amongst the best on the world market.
Now, this isn't sort of bush rum we're doing. We're challenging the top spirits of the world. I say to our guys, it's single malt rum. We're going right to the top. And this will be, I sincerely hope, around the world in all the best places.
All the workers involved are pleased to be part of the CaneCo project and are already testifying of the immense benefits it has and will continue to bring to the country.
It's something new that's come on stream here like just a year ago. So I feel excited about it because as a young individual, it is something not everybody or every young person would want to get involved in. I believe that it would be beneficial to the country, even though it is owned by foreign investors. But there are Grenadians, or a particular Grenadian who is a shareholder in the business, and it produces a form of employment to some people. And we learn different things as workers. Some of us may not have known different varieties of cane or how to handle cane. So I believe it's a good one for Grenada.
Out of Grenada, I think it's a very great idea. It generates employment, and it boosts the agriculture sector. Also, it boosts the economy. Right? Agriculture was kind of down, being only just nutmeg and cocoa. Cane has kind of gone out of existence for a number of years. So bringing it back, it's a really great idea.
Reporting from Hope, I am Abigail McIntyre for State of Affairs.
Welcome back. The records show that the last 5 years under the Keith Mitchell-led administration has been some of the more brighter days the country has ever seen in over a decade. One of the major achievements under the current government is its ability to drastically reduce the unemployment rate from over 40% to now 24%. Abigail McIntyre explains how this was achieved.
Mr. Speaker, today, Grenada is now at the forefront of all class of activities. I can testify.
The government is celebrating an achievement it says warrants testifying for as it forges ahead with a mission to restore hope and put people back to work.
5 years on, we've seen unemployment drop from in excess of 40% down to 24%, almost half, which is a significant reduction over this period and an incredible achievement when you compare it to what we faced when we came in.
These last 5 years, brothers and sisters, I believe in my lifetime has been the best 5 years I ever seen in this country. We have come too far to go back.
Reducing the country's unemployment rate from over 40% in 2013 to 24% has been a stunning accomplishment, and the period 2008 to 2013 pales by comparison. Staring into the face of a failing economy and growing unemployment, the Keith Mitchell administration returned to office 5 years ago, facing an uphill struggle.
So what we have seen is an influx of
business entities, local, expanding, or those who are not even functioning, come back on board, and they have captured and created employment for a number of Grenadians.
Tough decisions were necessary if the local economy were to rebound. A structural adjustment program was introduced, emphasizing increased revenue and reduced spending as part of efforts to stabilize the economy.
But what it demonstrates is that the measures that this administration has put in place since coming into office, in terms of re-stimulating the economy, creating new economic opportunities, we are seeing a direct correlation between improvements in our economy, increases in economic opportunities, and the reduction in unemployment.
And so I'm very proud, Mr. Speaker, of the record of this government. And it shows the leadership and the unity of this government, that you must have a united team to achieve that. Everyone had to be on board, everyone working together.
The policies of the Keith Mitchell administration started a turnaround in the local economy, fueled by large growth in construction and tourism as unemployment began a downward trajectory. This falling trend of unemployment is also attributed to the government's policy of pursuing a citizenship by investment program, which grew rapidly in 2017. Many of the new construction projects, employing thousands from Kawana Bay Resort to Renegade Rum Distillery, are as a result of the CBI.
All of these projects, those that have already commenced and those that will commence, all of them are going to produce jobs. They're going to create jobs, because in 9 cases out of 10, what we're looking at is construction activity. Once the construction activity has ended, then you have the operational phase, and that in itself, there's more job creation there.
This is an investor-friendly, a private sector-friendly government and administration, and we have been able to attract, through increased investor confidence, investment both from foreign investment in addition to our own local investors. So if we see private sector development, and within the tourism and hospitality sector, we have numerous new hotels that are either under construction or existing hotels that are being redeveloped, upgraded.
The falling unemployment rate in the last 5 years can also be attributed to a policy decision by the Mitchell government to support small business. A loan facility by the Grenada Development Bank funded new small businesses and expanded existing ones.
This one was close to the Prime Minister's heart, because he said, if we have to create sustainable jobs and you give our young people who have a business plan and an idea the financing to start, and there is movement in the economy, nothing going to stop them.
That's how small people benefiting from it. Without that, where would you get the money?
Public and private sector activities are on a high, creating hundreds of jobs with the promise of more in the horizon. A growth is also being reported in the island's call centers, where hundreds of new jobs are now available.
In the Prime Minister's recent budget, he indicated there's been a decrease in the unemployment rate. We would like to think that KM's Trade Solutions would have certainly contributed to that success. Currently employing over 350 employees, with anticipated growth to 500 employees in early 2018. Expect KM's Trade Solutions to continue increasing its impact on the overall economy.
I can challenge anybody today, anybody from any walks of life. Look at the work that has been done in Grenada today and tell us that the new National Party as a government is not at work. We are hard at work building our people, and that is what we will continue to do, brothers and sisters.
The old adage says, the proof of the pudding is in the eating. And so the proof of government's efforts to stabilize the economy and restore hope to many is evident in the thousands who have been able to find employment and the many others who have been able to create employment for themselves and others. History has recorded government's performance over the last 4.5 years as they are able to boast of a significant reduction in the country's unemployment rate. This is an achievement worth testifying. I am Abigail McIntyre.
But in a single mom, child is hard to mind. Deadbeat fathers just make me sick. Let's do something to get rid of this problem quick.
Yes, this is me, Rootsman Kelly, 2017 Calypso Monarch of Grenada, Carriacou and Pitimatnik. I'm inviting you, everyone, come down to Spice Mass 2018 and enjoy yourself with me. Remember, you will be enjoying the Jab Jab, Traditional Mass, Juve, Soca Monarch, and of course, the Dimarche Gras 2018 will be the best ever.
No, killing me. The look cinema, you always ice me on your shoulder.
Wondering about this new kid on the block.
Youth man learn, me say youth man learn. Youth man, you will get your turn.
Come down to Grenada and enjoy yourself.
Plastic rice, plastic cheese and plastic corn.